Live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Play through Allen. Allen hands off to Porter. Porter feeds ball. Lonzo, good pass inside. He got it to Allen. Allen puts it up and in. The shot doesn't go. Nance keeps it alive. Off it goes to Porter. Porter for three. Oh, my.
Drive and a miss. This is tapping outside to Ron Holland. To the basket against Herder, and he jams.
Tighten up. Shots that were falling for them aren't falling anymore. Curry for the lead. He got it. Steph's got 33. They've come from 16 down.
Oh, my. This will be some chicken salad.
Chicken salad with some curry sauce.
Never heard of that one before, but there it is. Somebody hits a three ball in the NBA, and the guy says, chicken salad with some curry sauce. Okay, welcome to the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into AM1310 WDPN. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. We're going to be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. It's a busy, busy show. Make sure you get dug in. Make sure you are where you need to be with us for the next 3 hours. Of course, on your radio, 1310 WDPN. On our Facebook page, 1310 WDPN Facebook page, our X page or Twitter page, and of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We'll give you a lot of different ways you can consume the program Monday through Friday between 3 and 6. The text line is up and ready for you right there. Right there, I sound like Nelly. Coming across the bottom of the screen, 330-924-7088. Text line 330-924-7088.
We keep it right there for you.
I'm telling you, what the heck was I doing there? What a beautiful day today. You just heard Mark Johnson telling you about it. About 50, 51, lots of sunshine out today. Winds really died down from what it was yesterday. So just a great day. We got a couple more days of sunlight, daylight, so make sure you get out and enjoy it if you're out and about today. Cavaliers win last night. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Three starters out last night. Larry Nance Jr. was questionable. No Mitchell, no Garland, no Mobley. I was wondering why that line was only 5.5 yesterday. It went down to 4.5 by tip-off. And what happened? Yep. Cavs win the thing outright. They punished the Miami Heat last night. 130-116. Like they were just messing with them last night. Jared Allen showed up. Luke Travers showed up last night. Huh? Beat the Heat by 14 with 3 of your studs on the bench. Go figure, right? Nah, that was no surprise to me. No surprise here. Now, here's the tough thing. Now you come right back tonight and play Toronto at home after you've had a little bit of a flight from beautiful Miami to Cleveland. Now you're going to be ready to go again tonight. That's the question. The bizarre thing, and maybe this will work out tonight. Maybe that's why they decided to, this is kind of ridiculous to be talking about this in November, but maybe that's why they rested the guys last night because of the back-to-back after the travel. And maybe they'll be more than ready to go tonight now that they're going to be close to full strength. Obviously, Darius Garland not going to play. So maybe that was the method behind the madness for Kenny Atkinson. You're in Miami Monday. All right. You let that one slip away, but that was an overtime game. You had a day off Tuesday, more or less. You rested guys yesterday, won the game, hopped on a plane. Now you're back in Cleveland to play Toronto tonight. So maybe that was all kind of part of the big picture. We'll see. We'll see. Cavs and Raptors coming up tonight at 7:10. That ball game at Rocket Arena. This matchup marks the second time in less than a couple of weeks the Raptors and Cavs play each other. First game this year, Raptors defeated the Cavs 112-101. Since then, the Cavaliers are 5-1 and have actually leapfrogged the Raptors in the Eastern Conference standings. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes tonight. I am assuming that Mobley and Mitchell will play tonight. Probably a no on Darius. Larry Jr. was out there last night, so we'll see. But maybe Kenny Atkinson had it all figured out. So we'll see what happens tonight. But the Cavs can get that one, get a little momentum here, a little back-to-back, and that will have been Monday, off Tuesday. That'd be 3 games in 4 days. I thought the NBA was going to stop doing that. Like the 4 and 5, the 3 and 4, the back-to-back. I thought because they stretched the damn season out so long, I thought we were that was one of the reasons that we're starting in October and ending in the third week of April. I thought that was the reason. But here we are, Cavaliers playing 3 games in 4. So I don't know. I don't really understand sometimes what the NBA is doing. I don't really understand what David Silver, his agenda is. I was a big David Silver fan. I got to be honest. When he took over for the late David Stern, I thought Adam Silver was going to be, at least early on, I thought, okay, this guy's he's going to take the torch, and I think maybe some things will change here a little bit. He'll implement some things, and I think the NBA is going to get back on track. It's going to garner some new fans. People are going to kind of come back if they left, so on and so forth. Nah, I'm not really an Adam Silver fan at all. He's kind of turned me off. So, and then this ridiculous, we have not gotten into it. If we have time, we will today. You see the changes they're making for the NBA All-Star game. You need a PhD to figure that out. It's insane. If we have time today, we will get into it. We're going to talk some Mount Union football with the head football coach of the Purple Raiders, Geoff Dartt, as the mighty Mountain Raiders will take on Muskingum this Saturday afternoon at 1:30. You can join myself and Ryan Bevere. We'll have the call for you right here on AM1310 WDPN and Q92radiosports.com. Browns and Ravens continue their preparations for Sunday at the stadium. Don't forget, or maybe you should, it's a 4:25 kickoff for the Browns and the Ravens on Sunday. Might be a little windy, might be a little rainy. And oh, by the way, you can get in for as low as $9 a ticket. I saw some tickets last night on a couple of places, $6. $6 to get into an NFL game. Now, the seats are what you would think they would be, way, way up high in the corner, probably the second to the last row. But $6, $7, $8, $9 you can get into it. Now, I don't know why you would want to go to that game, but I'm just throwing that out there. If you feel the need and you don't want to spike your Visa card, you could get into the game for less than $10. Now, that probably doesn't include fees, of course, because we can't sell tickets without a fee. So you're probably looking at like $15 a ticket, something like that. But yeah, you can get in for pretty cheap this Sunday. We will talk with Ross Benjamin from WagerTalk.com at 4:35. Our sports handicapping guru. He will break down and give his winning selections on the big college and NFL games coming up this weekend. Fairless football coach, my guy, AJ Sarbaugh, will join us at 5:35 today. He'll help us break down the high school football playoffs coming up this weekend, and he'll take a look at the games involving our teams and what he thinks may or may not happen. And we'll get his thoughts on the on the playoffs and how things are moving along with different ways that they're doing the postseason now, and the first the bye this year still being a 6-week hike to the playoffs. We'll get AJ's thoughts on all that coming up at 5:35. Also, we have On This Day in Sports History, and of course, it's a Thursday. We all know what that means. It's a 3-question Thursday quiz here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. So let's get right into that. You can leave your comments on both of my Facebook pages. You can drop your comments on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel and the 1310 WDPN Facebook page and X pages. And we would love to hear from you today. Get them in. Get them in. Get them in and let's go. All right. Question number 1. Who will play in the Division I College Football National Championship game? Who do you think is going to play for the title in college football? Question number 2. What's the best breakfast place in town? Where's your go-to breakfast place? And question number 3, when will you put your Christmas tree up? What's the date? Around this time. When will you get the big box out, get the lights? When will you put up the Christmas tree? That's your 3-question Thursday quiz here. Question number 1, who will play for the College Football National Championship? Question 2, what's your best breakfast place in town? Where do you go? And question number 3, when will you put up the Christmas tree? Get those comments in and we'll get things rolling here on 1310 WDPN. You can also text those answers into at 330-924-7088. What else is going on here today?
Sam, I got to tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to do a quick reminder for the St. Harlan bus thing, but go ahead.
I was really digging the Miami court last night during the Cavs game.
Oh, you liked that.
I liked that.
I wanted to. If I would have been in an airplane, I would have grabbed the stomach distress bag and hurled into it. Yeah.
Oh, I like those pastel colors.
I just can't. I can't. I know it's a Miami thing.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I just can't. Ugh. Okay. And they're going to do that because they were wearing, I think they wore their, I can't remember now if they wore their City Connect uniforms last night or not. If they did, you'll see that court another 4 or 5 times this year.
I think their uniforms matched the court. I remember that.
So they must have worn their City Connects.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I liked the paint area being blacked out. I liked it.
You liked it there.
Yeah.
All right.
It was more of a pale wood color.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was such a big difference from the Monday.
I'll have to go back and watch that
because Monday was just their regular floor design, regular color scheme and everything. But last night, yeah, that was that was like watching football down at Marietta on the gray turf. That was a little hard on the eyes last night for me. There was some college football last night. We'll give you those action scores in case you missed it. The Tampa Bay Rays, their dome has been fixed. They'll be able to jump back in there and play Major League Baseball games beginning next year. And don't forget, Sammy's Best Bet coming up at 4:29 today. I picked one game. I've got one selection, and that is Sammy's Best Bet. We'll have that Monday through Friday for you. New feature we're starting here. Actually, it's the second time we've done it. That will be at 4:29 daily here on 1310 WDPN. My first best bet was on Monday night. We had the Philadelphia 76ers plus the 1.5 against the Celtics. Philly won that one outright, 102-100. I've got another one for you tonight. We're going to go NBA. That'll be coming up at 4:29 today here on the show, Sammy's Best Bet. All right, 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, college football national championship game. Michael says, you think it's going to be Ohio State and Alabama? Best breakfast place in town. He's got Mench's. Number 3, when will the Christmas tree go up? Probably next week. Tim says Texas A&M versus Ohio State. His best breakfast spot, Gigi's in Marshallville. Tree will go up for him on Thanksgiving weekend. Marcus, check it in. He's got Ohio State versus Texas A&M. Best breakfast spot for him, Bob Evans in the Buckeye. I'm trying to Bob Evans in the Buckeye State. Hilton Head Diner is one of his favorites outside of Ohio. Tree will go up near the start of Advent. Thomas says it'll be Alabama and Ohio State. Best breakfast spot, Waffle House. Best griddles in town. And the occasional drunks and fistfights in the parking lot make it a unique dining experience.
Waffle House is like eating front row at the UFC.
See, I've never seen anything wild at Waffle House. Of course, I don't go there a
You
lot.
have to go to Waffle House at 3 a.m.
I guess you got that's see.
Yeah.
I am sound asleep at 3 a.m. unless there's like a triple overtime game on that, you know. But yeah, my Waffle House days are over. I mean, at that time of the day, I can't even remember the last time I went to a Waffle House. I bet it's been 5 years.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
because I'm also,
and it's not. I'm not saying it's not good. It's just not a spot that I go to. Let's see here. Kim says Ohio State versus the cult of Texas A&M. Her tree will go up the day after Thanksgiving. Ron says it'll be Ohio State, Texas A&M. He goes to Judy's Diner, hands down the best breakfast in town. When will Ron put up his Christmas tree? All I got was a bah humbug. Thanks for that. We'll take a break. It's 3:25 on the Sam Bourquin Show. Just getting cranked up here on this sunny but chilly Thursday here in the Carnation City. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
Of all the ways to get ahead in life, we're one of them. And we're legal. The John Tesh Radio Show.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room.
You're just trying to be better. We're just trying to help. The John Tesh Radio Show.
Join me for music and intelligence for your life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
It's intelligence for your life.
America, our military is sacrificing for our freedom. Please take time to remember our men and women fighting overseas. This salute, courtesy of Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, serving our community with dependability and excellence. For all of your residential and light commercial remodeling needs, call the professionals at 330-763-0089. 330-763-0089. Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, reminding everyone that we live in the land of the free, thanks to the brave.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
$1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. We got about 3 minutes before we get you to the bottom of the hour. News and weather with Jeff Mears. High school football Friday night. We'll have the big one between West Branch and Lake County Perry. Matter of fact, we'll have the show live from Lake County Friday afternoon beginning at 3. And then we will have our pregame. Don't forget, pregame is 15 minutes later this week. We don't need a half hour to preview 4 games. Quite frankly, we don't need 15 minutes to preview 4 games. But we will be on at 6:45 Friday night, and the kickoff at 7. West Branch, Lake County, Perry, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Also Friday night on the Q92 Sports Network. The FM game will have Kent McKinley at Mentor at 7 o'clock. On the Q92sports.com, on the stream, we will have Massillon at Columbus St. Francis de Sales and East Canton at Mogador. We got you covered. All 4 local teams, all covered here. Friday night, 1310 WDPN and Q92 Sports Network. Did you see what the Mega Millions is up to? $965 million. Next drawing is tomorrow night. $965 million. Powerball is up to $546 million. Whew. Do you ever think, not that I'm saying that the Ohio Lottery is fixed, do you ever think that there would be a time where the Powerball and the Mega Millions both hit $1 billion? Do you think that would ever happen?
Man, I know it's been close before, hasn't it?
It's been close.
It's gotten to like 990 million.
Now, I think we just had a jackpot at 1 billion plus not too crazy long ago. And I think that might have been the Mega. Maybe it was the Powerball. I forget. Anyway, I wonder if that would ever happen. Like if the Mega doesn't hit tomorrow night, that will go to $1 billion plus. If the Powerball doesn't hit its next drawing, it'll probably go to like 625 million. So that would have to not have a winner for probably the next 4 drawings, maybe the next 5, and then that would get over $1 billion too. I wonder if they would let that happen. Again, I'm not saying anything or implying anything, but I just wonder what kind of crazy sales that would have. Because remember now, they've added a day, like Mega Millions is what, Tuesday, Friday? And I think Powerball is Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So you got a big drawing every day during the week, Monday through Saturday. I bet sales would be, and that's why I wondered, maybe they would let that. Look, I don't know all the ins and outs of how they pick those numbers. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. But I'm just wondering what it would be like if they both hit over 1 billion as far as the jackpot was concerned. That would be insane. All right, news and weather coming up with Jeff Mears. On the other side, it's time to talk purple. Head football coach of the Mount Union Purple Raiders, Geoff Dartt, will join us next on 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. The Department of Homeland Security says it will pay out $10,000 bonuses to airport security agents who never took a day off during the 43-day government shutdown. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy reports.
The Homeland Security Secretary says the bonus checks will go to those TSA agents who she says stepped up, reporting to work each day through the shutdown, took on extra shifts at airport checkpoints. President Trump has suggested similar $10,000 bonuses might be paid to air traffic controllers who never called out. They work for the FAA, which is overseen by the Transportation Secretary.
The House is moving toward a vote on releasing files from the sex trafficking investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Republican leaders have no choice but to allow a vote after a petition on the Epstein bill reached the needed 218 signatures. It comes at a time when new documents have raised questions about Epstein and his associates, including a 2019 email mentioning President Trump. The White House accuses Democrats of leaking emails to smear the president. The bill would force the Justice Department to release all Epstein-related files with some redactions. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he plans to bring the measure to a vote next week. California's governor is pre-deploying emergency resources in the state as heavy rain is moving in. ABC's Alex Stone is there.
It's a statewide storm that could go on through the weekend, beginning today in Northern California and beginning on Friday in Southern California. But the biggest worry is the burn scars where wildfires burned in January. Those are areas that are very prone to mudslides. Governor Gavin Newsom is pre-deploying teams to those Southern California burn zones, including 3 urban search and rescue teams, 18 fire engines, swiftwater rescue teams, helicopters, and dispatchers, a total of almost 300 people to be ready in case there is flooding or mudslides. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Israel's army says militants in Gaza have handed over a body believed to be a hostage since the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas began last month. The remains of 24 hostages have been returned to Israel. If the latest body turned over today is confirmed by Israel to be a hostage, another 3 remain in Gaza. Israel has been releasing 15 Palestinian bodies for the remains of each dead hostage as part of the agreement. The Gaza Health Ministry says the total number of remains received so far is 315. It's 50 degrees and Alliance at 332. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
48 degrees for your afternoon. A high today, a sunny sky all day long. Overnight, grab the coat. 29 for the low, clear and starry all night long. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Heart is a blue. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. What a beautiful day. About 50, 51. Lots of bright sunshine out there. Weekend is looking good, too. Weather's looking great for the high school football tomorrow. It's looking really good for the Mount Union game on Saturday. So if you can, come on out and enjoy some great football tonight or tomorrow in and around the area. Don't forget, high school football Friday night. We will be at Lake County Perry as West Branch will take on Lake County Perry. All right, that's going to be a good one. Warriors and the Pirates, Friday night at 7, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. And, of course, Saturday afternoon, we've got the mighty Mount Union Purple Raiders back home against the Muskies of Muskingum. We will join you 1:30 Saturday afternoon here on 1310 WDPN. And without any further ado, the man that makes it happen, the head football coach of the University of Mount Union, and of course, is head coach Geoff Dartt. Coach, good afternoon. Happy Thursday. How's your week going?
Going good. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. We got to keep things rolling here. Getting ready for I can't believe I'm going to say it. The regular season finale is coming up on Saturday, and I know football season, because we both love it. It gets here and it goes so quickly. And I know you don't really have time to stop and smell the roses, but even though it's just the end of the first chapter, have you had a couple of seconds today or last week to think, man, it's zipping by again on us again?
Yeah, we actually talk about that all the time in our staff meetings, but once we get done with our bye week, which obviously was a little bit different this year after our first 2 games, it's normally after our first game, it flies by. You're just into the routine and into the grind of, preparing, right? After the games on Saturdays and then on Mondays, and then you hit the ground running with practices Tuesday through Friday. So, yeah, it's gone quick. I think our coaches have done a great job handling it, and obviously our players have too.
Do you as a head coach, and of course you have to, you got to be hands-on, but you also delegate in that position. Do you still enjoy the daily practice grind leading up to the games as much as you have?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I've always told the offensive line, hey, my days are Tuesday through Friday, the practice days. Saturday, I'm confident you're prepared. I'm not going to mess with you, so go out and let it rip. But I don't know how other coaches would handle that, but I think that's where we're all working together throughout the course of practice in the week, and then that's the loyalty and the trust that the players and coaches have in one another, and they go out and execute.
Well, and Coach, I think you have to have that. I mean, if you have, you can lean on somebody. You respect the grind. You respect the constructive criticism they may get one day. They respect the pat on the helmet they might get the next time. I think you need that. I think you need that unity, that chemistry, that family, that trust. That goes a long way.
No question, it does. And I really think that that's been why we've done the things we do through the last couple seasons. Right. Not, the 2 seasons before that, it was very similar to that, but I think it's just been building even more. And, I've mentioned this before on the show, but, offensive line and running backs, we always meet together. And today we had a great meeting, which was more so them speaking rather than me. And it was great. We all got on the same page, just correcting a few things, nothing, serious or anything like that. But now heading into practice here in about 20 minutes, totally confident that they're going to execute practice and feel better about some things.
Yeah. Before we take a quick look back at Marietta, this being the final regular season game, you've got it at home. Does it feel any different this week as far as maybe how some of the seniors are approaching or acting, or maybe just kind of trying to soak things in a little bit? Or is it pretty much, business as usual until you get where you want to go?
Yeah, probably a little bit of both, right? I would hope that, they have some of those thoughts, right? Sure. But still got to finish with Muskingum, and then, we'll see what happens from there. But none of that matters, unless we do finish with Muskingum, and they absolutely have our attention. They are dynamic on offense. They have a new head coach, but their defensive coordinator remains the same, and they did some great things against us last year defensively. So we got to get it done on Saturday before we worry about anything else.
No doubt. Just a quick peek back to Marietta. Got to talk about Davion Grant. I mean, 9 catches for 170 yards, both season highs. He makes the usual catch. He makes the fantastic catch. He has a lot of yards after the catch. He is really starting to spark, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. He practices so hard that sometimes he's off on the side after practice running, and we're like, Davion, just calm down. We don't need you running anymore or getting hurt. And he wants it all the time. But I think that just it talks about, Coach Collins, how he's been organizing the offense in terms of the pass game. But it's really all 3 of the starting receivers, Davion, Jacob, and Nick have all had success, in different moments of the season. So I think that's a good thing to have as, we're coming into the last regular season game.
Another question about Davion, and this is what I find just entertaining, funny, and also, I respect the personality that wide receivers have. Is Davion the kind of guy that would always come back to the huddle chirping at Mikey saying, I'm open, throw me the ball, I'm always open, coach, give me the ball? Or is he a guy that just goes out and just lets it come to him?
Yeah, I think any receiver wants the ball, right? I haven't heard that too much. I mean, our guys are pretty selfless. Really what they talk about when they come off on the sidelines is, getting things correct, but more so about, encouraging each other to block, which I like a whole lot. Even in some cases, I was like, I like that you guys have high effort to block, but let's create an explosive play in the pass game. But their willingness to work together, encourage one another, support one another is really, really awesome.
It sounds like you've got a good group and a good hand on what you want them to do. And I'm talking about the wide receivers. Is it sometimes, though, hard to get a wide receiver to block downfield sometimes, or no?
I wouldn't use the word hard. I think it's more about the effort and understanding, obviously, the scheme, right? When do I have to do this? How do I have to do it? Depending on, do we want the ball to be ran inside of them, outside of them? But I think it's more about the want and the willingness to go do that. And those guys, you see the effort that they go with. Sometimes we get, hey, just finish with a shove. You don't got to try to take anyone down. But I'd rather have those conversations than trying to beg someone to block.
Right. No doubt. Sometimes you got sometimes you got to ask them to tune it down a little bit, but that's a better problem to have. Head coach Geoff Dartt is with us with the Mount Union Purple Raiders, coming off a win over Marietta last weekend. They got the Muskies coming to town Saturday at 1:30. Defensively, coach Ricky Levac, Gabe Ganelli, I thought stepped up against Marietta on Saturday, and talk about their progress, if you would, as we get ready for game number 10.
Yeah. So start with Ricky first. He's a sophomore. He's only been getting better and better with more opportunities. Has been great on special teams all year and was starting to come on at the end of last year as a freshman. So he actually absolutely took advantage of that on Saturday with the big interception. Made some great tackles in space to, get the ball back to the offense. And then Gabe, very, very similar, very talented as a freshman, and, had a great offseason in the weight room. And then this summer, and, we're obviously seeing the benefit of that in the work that, he's put in, and he's made that decision himself that, he wants to work, and he's in the spot that he's in because of that.
As you get ready to go out and practice on a day like today, and we've talked on the past 8 or 9 Thursdays, near the end, do you ever try to watch and gauge your guys if how they're feeling, the mood they're in, what their energy level was like, and take me through that, because I know you put them through a pretty good practice, Yeah,
we talk about that as a staff. Our strength coach, as well. So there's been some times where we're going to pull back a little bit in the weight room, so they feel a little bit better going into practice. But it's all about the players, right? It doesn't matter how we're feeling as coaches, right? Because we don't have to go out and do anything as physical as to what they're doing. So being able to take care of them and them be willing to communicate with us. Again, I go back to the trust and loyalty standpoint. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I know each year is different. Every group is different. You've got your recruits. You've got a couple of guys that maybe that transfer in, and you put all this stuff in a mixing bowl, and you try to figure out what you have. Is there a point in this season, not before, but within the season, that you actually see all these parts kind of come together and get cohesive?
Yeah, it's been moving that way. I know it's kind of crazy to say, but I still don't think we've played our most complete game yet, which hopefully is a good thing. And we do it this weekend because we're facing a really good opponent. But yeah, I mean, it's always you start off with your plans, and you got to be able to pivot and move based on the personnel in terms of the players that you have, right? So if they're struggling to do this or that, you as the coach, it's all about players, formations, and plays. So what situations are we putting them in so they can be successful and add an advantage?
Geoff Dartt is our guest, the head coach of the Mount Union Purple Raiders. They're home 1:30 Saturday against Muskingum. Coach, you mentioned, how watching things kind of come together. And let's just say, okay, how much film would you watch? I shouldn't say film, tape would you watch of Marietta getting ready for Muskingum? And do you ever go back to earlier games in the season to maybe look and see some things that you haven't tried in a while, and how did they work maybe week 1, 2, or 3, and try to re-implement them again?
Yeah, we definitely self-evaluate ourselves normally every 3 weeks, right? And sometimes, I mean, I'm as truthful as it gets, I think. But yeah, sometimes you forget about some things, and you have to go back and, all right, maybe from an offensive perspective, we saw a certain front or alignment, and how did we attack it? Did it work? Did it not work? What's our adjustment going to be? So And obviously, in some cases, if the coordinators stay the same, you look at last year's game, right? What went well, what didn't go well, and make adjustments off of that. And that's the same thing that we do on defense as well. So I think you have to be willing to do that in order to put your players in the best situation.
No doubt. One quick question on Muskingum. We'll get you the quiz and we'll get you out to the practice field. You mentioned that they're tough. They do some different things for you offensively and defensively. Preparation-wise for them, I know, and you're always working on you, but as far as the Muskies, is there a player or two, a scheme or two that you're getting ready for?
Yeah. They have two very, very explosive receivers that are leading the league in yards and receptions. Connor and Garrett Gurney are two exceptional players. One is the quarterback, and one is a standout linebacker for them. And we actually recruited those two guys, so we're very aware of them. And then they have two really good defensive linemen, and number 92 and 95. So they absolutely, have our attention. They do great things on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game as well. So I feel like, after today's practice, we should be prepared, but we got to have a good one today.
No doubt. All right, 3-question Thursday quiz. You all ready, Coach?
Yes. Yeah, I'm ready. My 8-year-old daughter is upset that she couldn't be here today for these, but
well, she can always go back and listen to the podcast. I'm sure that's what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Because all 8-year-olds want to do that.
Yeah.
Question number 1. Who will play in the D1 college football national championship game?
Ooh, great question. Yeah, I would say Ohio State's playing really good right now. They're obviously the returning national champs, so I would be confident in saying that. Alabama's playing pretty good right now. Obviously, that's a very, very difficult conference, and the SEC championship I'm sure will show up. So Georgia as well. I'd say Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, somewhere in that realm.
All right. We've got a lot of comments today. Everybody thinks it's going to be Ohio State and Texas A&M. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, Coach Elko. Yeah. He does a great job too. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah,
we'll see. It'll be fun to watch it play out. Question number 2, Coach Dartt, best breakfast place in town. Where is it?
Ooh, I love Doug's Diner. Right across the street from campus. I think that's pretty good. Dunkin' Donuts makes a good breakfast sandwich as well. I'm a big Circle K guy. So I know that's
you there yet.
Yeah, I know that's probably not the most popular thing, and my wife makes fun of me for it. But I think some gas stations have everything that you need.
I know. We've got one probably less than 3/4 of a mile from the radio station, and I've got a path worn out down there. It's really become quite sad, to be honest with you, but I can't stay away.
Yeah.
Question number 3. When will the Darts put their Christmas tree up?
Oh, yeah. I don't feel one way about that either way. I mean, my wife loves to decorate for all the seasons. So, I mean, if we wanted to put it up this weekend, I'd be all for it. So I'm normally not in control of those decisions, but if she and the kids want the Christmas trees is actually how it is in our house, then I'm good with getting that done.
All right. That's a good, solid, fundamental answer right there. You aced that one. Coach,
safe answer, yeah.
Appreciate the time. We'll see you at the Ball Yard on Saturday. Have a great week.
All right, thanks. Go Raiders.
There he goes. Head coach Geoff Dartt of the University of Mount Union. The Purple Raiders taking on Muskingum this Saturday at 1:30. You can catch it right here. We'll have the play-by-play on AM1310 WDPN. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us.
The Canton Palace Theater is kicking the season off in style with the legendary Kilgan Organ. Their 2025 holiday kickoff runs 2 days on Friday, November 14th at 2 p.m. and Saturday, November 15th at 7:30 p.m. with an entire lineup of festive entertainment, a short silent film with accompaniment by Jay Spencer at the Kilgan organ, vocalist Lisa Knight performing Judy Garland songs, Shirley's School of Dance performing a chorus line, and general admission seating is $15. Groups of 10 or more, $12. Tickets are available through the Canton Palace Theater box office or online. Don't wait. Secure your seats now at CantonPalaceTheater.org or by calling 330-454-8172.
This Friday night at Lake County Perry, the Pirates will host the West Branch Warriors in Division IV Region 13 high school football here on AM 1310 WDPN. I'm Sam Bourquin. Join me and my partner Caleb Norick on Friday night at 7 as the number 4 seed West Branch Warriors at 10-1 take on the number 1 seed, the 9-2 Lake County Perry Pirates. The pregame begins at 6:30. We'll kick it off at 7. It's a big one on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming at Q92radiosports.com.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head to feel that.
I want to thank head coach Geoff Dartt from the University of Mount Union for joining us on the show. He's with us, don't forget, each and every Thursday throughout the football season at 3:35 right here. So make sure you put that in your hip pocket. Make sure you join us every Thursday at 3:35. Miss Kingham coming to town on Saturday. If we play well, we play fundamentally, do all the things that we do. I reckon we'll get the job done on Saturday, and then we'll get ready for the Sunday is the NCAA Division III. Oh, I don't even know what they call that. The pairings, the playoff announcements, and we'll see who's doing what. Don't forget now, there's a bye week, okay, for the top seeds, and then you get going the following Saturday. So stay with us here. We got you covered. We're with the Purple Raiders all the way here on 1310 WDPN, and of course, Q92radiosports.com. Back to our 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, who plays in the Division I college football national championship game? Who you got there? Question number 2, where's your go-to breakfast place? Best breakfast place in town. Question number 3, when will you put your Christmas tree up? Get those comments to me on both of my Facebook pages, the 1310 WDPN Facebook page, Twitter page, and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Hey, while you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That'll give you a little ping, a little alert. Every time we get something cooking here on the show, you will be alerted, and we can go from there. And we certainly would appreciate that. Joe says Ohio State. Ooh, this would be fun. Ohio State versus Texas Tech. Best breakfast place for Joe? The Cameo Grill. Putting the Christmas tree up the beginning of December. And then there's a maybe in parentheses. Jeff Harlow checking in. He's got Ohio State. Could Ohio State play Indiana? Probably not. Well, you know what? Who knows? Who knows? Samantha's is his go-to breakfast spot. Not sure when he will be putting the Christmas tree up yet. Rich is checking in from Columbus. He'll have Ohio State in the national championship game. He says it doesn't matter who they play. Breakfast spot for him, the Olympic Diner in Hilliard. And his Christmas tree will go up on Thanksgiving weekend. Brian checking in. He's got the Buckeyes against whoever. First Watch is his go-to breakfast spot. Tree will not go up until after Thanksgiving.
We got one on the text line. They say Ohio State, Indiana.
Ooh, another Buckeye, Indiana one. Okay.
Their favorite breakfast spot is Top of the Viaduct.
Oh, good stuff there.
And the first week of December is when their tree's going up.
Very nice.
Top of the Viaduct. Is that Maslin?
Yes.
Yes.
Love
Okay. I
Top
knew
of the
that
Viaduct.
sounded so familiar.
Oh, it's so good.
It's been so long.
Yeah, it's so good. You know what I didn't realize? What a haul it is to get from Maslin to Alliance. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
I never realized how that's a damn near 45-minute trip.
Yeah, you got to change highways like 3 times.
I just never thought of it that way.
Actually, yeah, if you go the right way, you'll go from 62 to 77 to 30.
Right. And it's like
ridiculous.
You think, boom, 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 but it's like 45 minutes. And I didn't realize it until I've gone to, my in-laws are in Maslin, and sometimes I've gone over after the show here, or after a Mount Union game on Saturday. If something's going on there, I'll head over, and I'm thinking, gee whiz, have I been in the car this long? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I just went from Alliance to Maslin. That's been 45 minutes. It's amazing. Tim Bracken checking in. Hope you're well, Tim. He's got Ohio State versus Texas A&M. Thanksgiving weekend, the tree will go up. Let me give you a couple more here before we get to the news. Gary, Officer Frascone, says it'll be Ohio State, Texas A&M. Top of the Viaduct for Gary. And the weekend before Thanksgiving, the Christmas tree will go up. One more here. This comes from Rick O. Ohio State versus Georgia for the national championship game. Pete's Restaurant is his go-to breakfast spot. Oh, he's got a date. He's got a solid date here. The Christmas tree will go up on November the 20th. So keep those comments and answers coming in on our 3-question Thursday quiz. Jeff Mears is ready to roll in the 1310 WDPN newsroom. He'll get you all squared away with the news, local, national, get you the weather, and we'll come back and get you ready for 2 more big hours of the Sam Bourquin Show right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. It's day 1 of the reopening of the federal government after the record 43-day-long shutdown. ABC's Jay O'Brien says efforts are underway to restore back pay and those critical SNAP benefits.
This is the first day of the government fully functioning again. So they said SNAP recipients will start to see benefits depending on their states, because the way benefits are processed depends on the state. But starting today, perhaps a little bit tomorrow, federal employees, 1.4 million who have been going without pay. Some have been showing up to work and been deemed essential, like air traffic controllers. Others who have been furloughed, they'll start to get paid over the weekend.
A last-minute reprieve in Oklahoma for convicted killer Tremaine Wood. The execution for the convicted killer was called off after the government granted clemency. Following a review and prayer, he accepted the parole board's recommendation to stop the execution. Wood was on death row for the murder of a 19-year-old in 2002. He'll now serve life in prison without parole. And stocks are sharply down. This is ABC News.
Macy's Veterans Day sale is one of your best chances to save big on furniture and mattresses. That's because you'll find great deals on our best sellers, like our exclusive Radley 5-piece sectional, delivered to any room in your home with white glove delivery for $25.98, and so many top brand mattresses at 20 to 60% off, plus an extra 20% off closeouts. So come in, try it all out, and get an incredible deal today at Macy's Veterans Day sale. Savings off select styles, exclusions apply.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. No charges will be filed in a May 22nd crash that killed a Bolivar woman in Jackson Township. Prosecutors say the 76-year-old Bolivar man who caused the collision suffered significant injuries, making prosecution impossible. The decision reportedly came with input from the other driver and the victim's family, 55-year-old Gay Rothacker. The man's passenger died after he ran a red light at Wales Avenue and Strasser Street, where his vehicle was hit by a car driven by a 16-year-old girl from Greene. She was also injured. A Canton police officer shot and killed a dog after it allegedly growled and charged at him Monday morning. Officers were responding to multiple 911 calls at a home in the 2900 block of 11th Street Northwest around 5:30. Body camera video shows two dogs running out when an officer knocked on a side door. One officer fired 2 shots, saying the dog ran toward him. The dog's owners disputed that the animal was aggressive. Police say the incident is under a standard use of force review. No disciplinary action or charges have been filed. The Stark County Sheriff's Office has arrested a caretaker accused of stealing from a disabled client. 41-year-old Katina Spells of Canton was picked up today. She is facing theft from a person in a protected class and misuse of credit cards, both filed in Massillon Municipal Court. Spells allegedly used the man's debit card for personal purchases between October 2024 and August of this year. She was employed by Quality Comfort Living and Services. The crimes reportedly took place at a Perry Township home. More than 160 Plain Township residents packed a zoning hearing Wednesday night only to see a proposed 120-home development put on hold. The developer behind the $11.5 million Ivy Reserves project failed to submit a required traffic impact study. The repository reports zoning commission members said they couldn't move forward without it and voted to table the rezoning request. The issue could return next month or January. The plan would change 59 acres around Ivy Street and Elmhurst Avenue from single-family to planned unit development, a move many neighbors oppose. A heavy police presence could be seen at a home on Route 30 in Kensington early Wednesday. The Columbiana County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded just after 5 a.m. for a reported domestic incident. The Highway Patrol also assisted at the scene. No charges have been filed, and the case remains under investigation. A Youngstown City School District teacher accused of stealing school funds is set to plead guilty next month. East High School science teacher Tracy Kane faces a theft charge and will appear in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court December 8th for a plea and sentencing hearing. Prosecutors say the charge involves conduct dating back to 2017 through March of this year. Kane was previously investigated after money went missing from East High School in 2023, an issue that led to the temporary cancellation of the senior trip to Florida. She was placed on leave during the investigation, but later returned to work with restrictions. Jabron Curry is behind bars, accused of opening fire into a crowd and wounding 3 women in Youngstown last summer. Police say the 20-year-old was arrested Wednesday afternoon during a traffic stop by the Neighborhood Response Unit. Curry faces 3 counts of felonious assault and was secretly indicted by a Mahoning County grand jury last month. The charges stem from an August 17th incident on Market Street near Florida Avenue. A Camel man charged with patient abuse will stand trial December 15th. U.S. Marshals arrested 56-year-old Mark Berry October 1st. He is free on $15,000 bond after pleading not guilty Wednesday in front of Mahoning County Magistrate Timothy Welsh. Berry is accused of choking and punching a man in a wheelchair during an argument September 16th at a patient care facility on Canfield Road in Youngstown. The victim was taken to St. Elizabeth Health Center for evaluation. A Trumbull County grand jury has indicted a man in a hit-skip crash that killed a retired Newton Falls teacher. 63-year-old Wayne Keeley of Warren faces aggravated vehicular homicide, failure to stop after an accident, and vehicular manslaughter charges. He's scheduled to be arraigned Wednesday. Investigators say the October 4th crash happened on Indiana Avenue in Niles, where Keeley struck 67-year-old Brenda Hibbard. She later died from her injuries. Police found Keeley 2 days later after locating his vehicle at a nearby plaza. He told officers he fell asleep at the wheel and panicked after the crash. Police in Warren are searching for 3 men after a shot was fired during a tobacco store robbery. Officers say 2 masked men grabbed a jar of Indica Black Ice and ran from the business on Elm Road Sunday morning, while a third suspect fired a shot as they escaped. No one was hurt, but police recovered a shell casing near the scene. Witnesses described the suspects as about 6 feet tall, one in a gray sweatsuit and camo mask, the other in black with a beard. So far, no arrests have been made. Liberty Township trustee Devin Stanley, who also works as a Trumbull County clerk's official and Girard assistant prosecutor, is accused of assaulting his wife. He was released Wednesday after being granted $10,000 bond. The felonious assault case against him is on hold after all Trumbull County judges stepped aside, citing conflicts of interest. The Ohio Supreme Court assigned retired appeals judge Thomas Teodosio to handle the case. A grand jury is considering the charges. Stanley is accused of assaulting the woman last month, causing a broken nose and ribs. It's 50 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000. Well, we get the sun to shine. Not going to warm you up too much. 48 degrees for the high today. Overnight clear, starry, and blustery. A low near 29. I am RJ Weather from 3 News.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Play through Allen. Allen hands off to Porter. Porter feeds ball. Lonzo, good pass inside. He got it to Allen. Allen puts it up and in. The shot doesn't go. Nance keeps it alive. Off it goes to Porter. Porter for three. Oh, my.
Drive and a miss. This is tapping outside to Ron Holland. To the basket against Herder, and he jammed.
Tighten up. Shots that were falling for them aren't falling anymore. Curry for the lead. He got it. Steph's got 33. They've come from 16 down.
Oh, my. This would be chicken salad.
Chicken salad with some curry sauce.
AM1310, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, WDPN, on Facebook, on X. You can check us out on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. 3-question Thursday quiz, we'll get to that. Cavaliers are winner last night against the Heat, 130-116. No Mobley, no Mitchell, no Garland, no problem. Cavs and Raptors tonight at 7 at Rockin' Arena. Thanks to head coach Geoff Dartt of the Purple Raiders, University of Mount Union, talking a little football with us today. Browns and Ravens continue their preparation for Sunday's game at the stadium at 4:25. Boy, I bet CBS is so happy that they made this a 4:25 game. Ye gads. Tickets as low as $7-8 for the Ravens and Browns game on Sunday. But the weather's going to be brutal, and I would go anyway. Ross Benjamin will be joining us at 4:35 today. He handicaps the big college and pro football games. We'll get his big picks coming up at 4:35 today. AJ Sarbaugh will join the program, Fairless head football coach. We'll talk some high school postseason with AJ. Also want to remind you, Sammy's Best Bet comes your way at 4:29. And we'll do that Monday through Friday, one of the new daily features here on the show. Sammy's Best Bet. That'll be coming up at 4:29 today here on 1310 WDPN. We're in our infancy. We've only done it once, and we hit our first one. All right, so we're back at it. This will be an everyday thing now, unless I lose 10 in a row, then we'll quit. But I'm kidding. Sammy's Best Bet today at 4:29 here on the program. I told you about the Cavs winning last night and the fact that it was the overall sentiment across the league, across the Cavs fans. Oh my God, everybody's out. We got no chance. You know how many times that happens in the NBA? A star is out, 2 stars are out, maybe 3 stars are out. And the other team says, oh, hey, so-and-so's not playing, and we can kind of just roll the ball out there and win tonight, and it'll be all good, no problems. And before you know it, you're down 10, and you try and you try to come back and you're just in quicksand. And before you know it, the clock hits triple zeros and you're cooked. We've seen it so many times. And Vegas preys on that. They prey on people that take that approach. Because they got you. They got you thinking there's no chance. There's no way. There's no way. Like last night, the number was 5.5. And people probably thought, oh, there is no way the Cavaliers win that game. But you'll take them with the 5.5. And people were hammering the money. Well, you know what, though? The public was kind of wise last night. Money was actually coming in on the Cavs up until tip-off. So Cavs outscored the Heat last night, by the way, in the fourth quarter, 37-19. Craig Porter, who a lot of people don't even know much about, he had 19 points last night. 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks. That's a pretty good night's work there. DeAndre Hunter had 21 points last night. Jared Allen, 30-10. Where was that the other night? Lonzo had 15 points, 2 boards, 8 assists. That's a good 20 minutes of work from Lonzo last night. Sam Merrill had 5. Proctor had 12. Tomlin had 9. Luke Travers had 4 for the Cavaliers last night. But they get a win. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to see how many 3-pointers they chucked last night. 47. a few less than they did Monday night. Remember they fired up, what was it, 61 or something?
Yeah, I think that's actually a whole third less.
Wow. So they only fired up 47 3-pointers last night. They were 45 of 104 from the field. 26 of 31 at the free throw line. Remember, now see here. This is another thing about the NBA. Remember Monday night? Remember Kenny Atkinson's press conference? What was the first thing that he said? I can't believe they shot 20 free throws and we shot only 2 at one point of the game. Couldn't believe it. He was going on and on about the officials. He was planting the seed for Wednesday night. Last night, the Cavaliers shoot 31 free throws on the road. Miami shoots 13. You gotta love the NBA, man. You just have to. College hoops last night. There was a lot of blowouts. Indiana in the Big Ten had a 31-point win last night. Tennessee, 20th ranked in the country, won by 33. Houston won by like 32 last night. There was really no grab ya games last night. There was some action if you missed it. You know how we love action here on the show. Northern Illinois beat UMass 45-3. I believe UMass is 0-10. They might be 0-11. They stink. Toledo on the road beats Miami of Ohio 24-3. And then Central Michigan pummeled Buffalo last night by the score of 38-19. College football this weekend. D3 on Saturday, Mount Union, Muskingum, 1:30 here on WDPN. Saturday night, I'm trying to get excited for this game. I'm trying to get it, but I just know Ohio State's just going to blow the doors off of UCLA. The Buckeyes and the Bruins, Saturday night from Columbus, that's a 7:30 kickoff. And don't forget, that ball game is on NBC and Peacock. Buckeyes are almost a 32-point favorite over UCLA on Saturday. As far as some of the other college games on Saturday, and I'll throw a lot of these at Ross, okay, when he comes on at 4:35. Is it me, or has this college football season been kind of void of like really big Saturdays? of college football. Like early in the season, we had a lot of ranked versus ranked. And like you're looking at that noon window, that 3:30 window, that 7:30 window. And I've been kind of wanting more out of that. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been some good matchups. There's been some good games. But I don't know. Is that just me, or does anybody else feel like that? Like we haven't had that solid Saturday card of college football with like 6 to 7 just barn burner matchups. We're just not getting them. I mean, this Saturday, Big Ten, Wisconsin and Indiana. The Hoosiers are a 29-point favorite. Number 25, Cincinnati is at home against Arizona. This is a big game for Cincinnati. It is. They're about a touchdown favorite. Arizona's decent. It's a long trip for them. Michigan at Northwestern Saturday. The Wolverines are a minus 11.5. Cool thing here is this game is being played at Wrigley Field in Chicago, where the Cubs play baseball. The field always looks a little weird, but it kind of adds to the, you know what I mean? It adds to the magic of the game on Saturday. So Wrigley Field hosting Michigan and Northwestern on Saturday. West Virginia, Arizona State, that's kind of a dog. I mean, the 3:30 games, geez. Iowa USC is not bad. That's not a bad matchup. That's out at the Coliseum on 3:30. Virginia Duke is not bad. That's a 3:30 game. Georgia Tech at Boston College. The Yellow Jackets are number 16 in the country. They're a 17-point favorite on the road. Miami of Florida at home against NC State. I don't think there'll be much drama there. Oklahoma, Alabama. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Number 4, Bama is at home against Oklahoma. The Tide are laying 6.5 to the Sooners. That's 3:30 on Saturday afternoon. You got some cream puff games too. Some of the SEC folks are stepping out of the league. Tennessee welcomes New Mexico State to town for a 40-point game. Florida's at Ole Miss. Can the Gators beat Ole Miss? I don't think. Utah, Baylor could be decent. They're laying 8 on the road at Baylor. Texas, Georgia. This should be a good game. 7:30 Saturday night. The Longhorns are ranked number 10 in the country. Georgia is ranked number 5. The Bulldogs are laying 6.5 against the Longhorns. TCU, BYU could be fun. That's a 10:15 game on Saturday night out in Provo. So not a lot. Like what did I mention? Like 2 marquee games, maybe 3. That's it. That's all coming up here on Saturday. Then, of course, the NFL slate on Sunday with the Browns and the Ravens. Again, that's a 4:25 game. Holy smokes. And they're kind of catching the short end of the stick as far as the weather. It's going to be really nice the rest of today here. It's going to be nice Friday. It's going to be nice on Saturday. And then right around kickoff on Sunday, the weather's supposed to change up on the lake and get really windy and possibility of a lot of showers coming in. So we'll see how that goes. There is another game, early game this Sunday. It's in Madrid as the National Football League continues their international series. The Washington Commanders will play the Miami Dolphins. Boy, that's a great way to start your Sunday of football. Chargers at the Jags. That should be a fun game. Tampa Bay at Buffalo. That could be good. Bears Vikings. That will be decent. Steelers Bengals in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh laying 5.5 there. Seahawks Rams should be pretty good. Rams at home there minus 3.5. Chiefs Broncos Sunday afternoon at 4:25. Now see, because the Browns and Ravens play at 4:25. This is another CBS game. We're not going to get the Chiefs and the Broncos. Now, unless you get the Sunday ticket or whatever, or the box, you're not going to get Kansas City and Denver here in our area. I would gladly trade the Browns-Ravens game in to watch Denver and KC. I would. I would have no qualms about that at all. Just trying to look here real quick and see what the weather is going to be out in Denver. You never know this time of year. It could go from 65 and sunny to a winter storm warning. I mean, you never know. You never know what the weather's going to be like out in Denver. But Chiefs and the Broncos, Sunday afternoon. You want to hear something crazy? If the Kansas City Chiefs lose to Denver on Sunday, they will be 5-5. 5-5. And they will be fighting for their life for the playoffs. I don't even know if they can weasel back into the division, but it would be tough for them now. I mean, they would probably solely looking at a wild card. Can you imagine if Big Andy Reid and Travis Kelce and Patty Mahomes and company are 5-5 after this weekend? And then you'll start hearing the whispers. Oh, this could be it. The Chiefs, they're done. The dynasty's over. It had to wear off sooner or later. Maybe Andy Reid, maybe the game has passed them by. People start saying all those things after a team that's just been kind of running roughshod through the league. All of a sudden now they have a tough year, and now people want to bury them. By the way, if you're hoping for a snow game or anything Sunday out in Denver, you can forget about that. Sunshine and 72 degrees for the Broncos and the Chiefs on Sunday. So there will be no snow at Mile High.
Is Denver a favorite there?
I believe they are. Let me recheck. I just had it. I believe they are a 3.5 point favorite against Kansas City. Let me see. I just had this pulled up here. No, the Chiefs are a favorite.
Oh, I knew it.
Kansas City is -3.5. The total is 44.5.
I knew it.
Oh, I forgot about the Sunday night game. That should be fun. Detroit at Philadelphia. The Eagles at home, given 2.5 to the Lions, and the total there is 46.5. So a pretty good Sunday card as far as the National Football League is concerned. Don't forget, coming up here at 4:35, Ross Benjamin will break down the college and pro games for us. He'll get us our winning selections from him. All right, that'll be coming up. Ross Benjamin from WagerTalk.com at 4:35. We'll talk some high school football at 5:35 today with AJ Sarbaugh. He's the outstanding head football coach of the Fairless Falcons. We're going to bring AJ on today to kind of break down the high school football playoff scene for round 3 coming up. Also, later on this day in sports history, we will jump back into the 3-question Thursday quiz. And don't forget, coming up at 4:29 today, Sammy's Best Bet. We give you one winner for the night. We'll see how it goes. We're 1-0 so far. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show right here on AM1310 WDPN. This Saturday afternoon at 1:30 from Cara Stadium on the campus of the University of Mount Union, the Mount Union Purple Raiders will welcome in the Muskies of Muskingum. Hi, I'm Sam Bourquin. Join me and my partner Ryan Bevere on Saturday afternoon as the Purple Raiders look to complete the perfect regular season at 10-0 as they welcome in Muskingum. The pregame begins at 1:20. We'll have the kickoff at 1:30 from Cara Stadium at Mount Union. The Purple Raiders and Muskingum. All the action here on AM1310 WDPN and Q92RadioSports.com.
The Canton Palace Theater is kicking the season off in style with the legendary Kilgan Organ. Their 2025 holiday kickoff runs 2 days on Friday, November 14th at 2 p.m. and Saturday, November 15th at 7:30 p.m. with an entire lineup of festive entertainment, a short silent film with accompaniment by Jay Spencer at the Kilgan organ, vocalist Lisa Knight performing Judy Garland songs, Shirley's School of Dance performing a chorus line, and general admission seating is $15. Groups of 10 or more, $12. Tickets are available through the Canton Palace Theater box office or online. Don't wait. Secure your seats now at CantonPalaceTheater.org or by calling 330-454-8172.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
All right, it's that time. It's 4:29 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. It's time for Sammy's Best Bet. We do this every show, 4:29, Monday through Friday. We give you what we think is our best bet of the night, and we'll see how we do. We had Philadelphia on Monday plus 1.5 against Boston. The Sixers won that game outright, 102-100. So that is documented. Tonight's best bet, we're going to go to the NBA. 7-5 Atlanta Hawks at the 4-7 Utah Jazz. Atlanta 5-2 on the road. The Jazz are 3-2 at home. Interesting here, the Jazz are 3-7 in their last 10. They're coming off of a win, however. Atlanta has won 3 in a row. But they're getting close to the tail end of a long West Coast trip. Sammy's best bet tonight, we are going to go with the Utah Jazz at home plus the 2.5 against the visiting Atlanta Hawks. That's Sammy's best bet for today. The Utah Jazz, take the Jazz plus the 2.5 against the visiting Atlanta Hawks, and we'll see how we do later on tonight. The news is next on 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. Congress has voted to reopen the government this week. House passed a bill that would provide funding through the end of January, but Democrats' main demands that the tax credits from the Affordable Care Act be extended was not included. 6 House Democrats sided with Republicans to pass the measure. Republicans say they will vote on health care tax credits next month, as premiums for millions on Obamacare are expected to skyrocket if the tax credits don't get passed. More from ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Those 6 moderate Democrats still voting with Republicans on the issue. One of them, Don Davis, telling reporters last night that he saw the pain this shutdown was causing his constituents, and he believes that holding out for this period of time did allow Americans to, quote unquote, have the conversation about health care.
State officials are working to restore full SNAP benefits to millions of people after the long government shutdown has finally ended. Some state officials said today that they are working quickly, but it could still take up to a week for some recipients to get their delayed aid. A series of court rulings and shifting policies from the Trump administration have led to inconsistent distribution of November benefits. About 2/3 of states had issued only partial or no benefits before the shutdown ended Wednesday night. The federal food program serves about 42 million people in lower-income households. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania had what his office says was a ventricular fibrillation flare-up that caused him to feel lightheaded and fall during an early morning walk today. He was doing well and was hospitalized in Pittsburgh. His office says he sustained minor injuries to his face and was under routine observation. Fetterman, who suffered a stroke in 2022, has disclosed that he was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy and a heart condition known as atrial fibrillation. Statewide heavy rain is moving into California and is expected to last days in what's known as an atmospheric river. ABC's Alex Stone is in Los Angeles, where the rain is expected to arrive this weekend.
Evacuation warnings are up now in burn zones where wildfires burned in January because the ground is fragile there, and in those zones, they are super prone to mudslides during heavy rain. So people are being told to sandbag and think about getting out. Those evacuation warnings will likely turn into orders at some point during the next couple of days. Governor Gavin Newsom is now pre-deploying over 300 rescuers, including urban search and rescue teams, swiftwater rescue teams, helicopters, and dispatchers to be in place in case of flooding and mudslides this weekend. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
It's 48 degrees in Alliance at 432. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Going to be a sunny afternoon, a little chilly though, a high near 48 degrees. Wear that coat. Overnight, mostly clear, a little windy, our low 29. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
1310 WDPN, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Text line is open, 330-924-7088, 330-924-7088. Let me check in here with Ross real quick and make sure we're good to go. Sometimes when you get that feeling, something might be up. So I'm going to reach out and make sure that we're good to go. In the meantime, our 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, who do you think will play in the college football national championship game? Who you got? Ohio State, Texas A&M? Ohio State, Georgia? Georgia, Texas Tech? Indiana? Who you got there? Question number 2. What is your go-to breakfast spot? Best breakfast place in town? And I'm going to take notes on that, by the way. For some reason, the older I get, the more I enjoy going to eat breakfast as opposed to going to lunch or dinner. Does that make me old? Probably.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
No, I'm just kidding. I think it's the getting up for breakfast at 4:30, 5 a.m. that makes you old.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing that.
No, I know.
I don't love breakfast that much to get up and no. Do I appear to be becoming older if I enjoy eating breakfast foods at non-traditional times of the day?
Oh no, I think
is that just a cool thing?
I think that's just awesome how no matter how old you are.
Okay, good.
Brenner's the best.
That's good. Right. So where's your favorite breakfast place? Question number 3 on the 3-question Thursday quiz. When will you put your Christmas tree up? You can give me a date. You can give me a week. You can give me a sort of this time of the time. What do you think? When are you going to put that Christmas tree up? Get those comments in on all my Facebook pages. And of course, 1310 WDPN on X, Q92 Radio YouTube channel. And of course, you can text them in at 330-924-7088. I want you to get used to using that text line. That's the quickest way to get anything right to us is the text line. And that is 330-924-7088. So
and if you're
get those comments below.
If you're already watching the stream, just comment right below. You'll see it show up on the screen and everything.
There you go. So make sure you do that. And while you're checking us out and you're scrolling through, make sure you like, follow, share, comment all of our social media platforms, and of course hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We certainly would appreciate that as well. Thanks to Coach Geoff Dartt from Mount Union for joining us at 3:35. Coming up at 5:35 today, less than an hour from now, we'll check in with AJ Sarbaugh, head football coach of the Fairless Falcons. He's going to come on and talk some high school football with us as we are getting ready to go for round 3. This is the final round that the higher seeds will be able to host at their stadium, their school, beginning next weekend. Now it is all neutral site games the rest of the way. So now it almost feels like we've already started that neutral site thing because every one of our teams has a pretty long road trip to make on Friday. Now, the closest game as far as proximity is concerned is East Canton. They have to go to Mogadore. And I'm trying to think. East Canton to Mogadore, what's that, 40 minutes? 45 minutes maybe, something like that. But, West Branch, hour and a half plus to Lake County to take on Lake County Perry. Massillon, 2 hours to take on Columbus DeSales. McKinley, a good hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half to get to Mentor. So a lot of our teams, I'm just putting chapstick on if anybody's wondering, all our teams got to travel this weekend. So it already feels like we're going to the neutral sites, but the true neutral site games will be next weekend. And we could be going, heck, if Massillon beats DeSales, I would prognosticate that the Tigers would probably end up in Mansfield for whoever they play next. I think that would be a pretty safe bet. If West Branch would beat Lake County Perry, they most likely will play Cleveland Glenville. Glenville plays Mentor Lake Catholic. I think Glenville wins there. Boy, your guess is as good as mine where they would play that game. Because they try to do it, equal distance between the schools. So try to figure out a spot between Cleveland and Beloit that would make sense as far as capacity, press box accommodations, all that. Parking, and of course, somebody has to want to step up and host too. Keller and I were talking about this the other day, and we came up with Barberton. I think that would be a fantastic place. Now, first of all, West Branch has to win, and Glenville would have to win. But I think Barberton would be a great site. Just kind of throwing that out there. I don't know if Barberton has any interest in hosting. I know they do a great job. So I would be all for that. East Canton, if they would beat Mogadore, would have to play probably Monroeville. So you'd have to pick a place between Monroeville and East Canton. And then McKinley, if they would knock off Mentor, they would play Lakewood St. Edwards, and I think we already know where that would be. Our favorite place to go to, Byers Field in Parma. Although I don't think you need that big of a place for that game. And I think it's a lot more closer to Mentor than it is to Canton. But nobody asked me. So that's probably where that game would be. I would be shocked if they put it somewhere else.
We got a comment from Mick on YouTube who says McKinley is going to give Mentor all they want and more.
I agree with that. I'm hearing McKinley could be down a couple of offensive linemen, though. I'm hearing that. I don't want to hear that, but that's what I'm hearing. So if the pups were 100% healthy, I think they give Mentor everything they want. Now, who knows? They may have some kids that can step up. We'll see. But I think this game is going to be, I think it's going to be a little closer than what the experts think. Put it that way. Tom checking in on the text. He says, Sam, West Branch and Glenville may be somewhere like Ravenna. Yeah. Can you believe I haven't been to Ravenna? I've never been to Ravenna for a game. Now they have that crazy, don't they have that like that navy blue turf up there? I think. I have not been in their press box. I know nothing about Ravenna, but I know they have hosted a lot of playoff games over the years. Anybody has the 911 on Ravenna or the 411? Not the 911, for God's sake. The 411.
Don't call the police in Ravenna.
No. Give me the scoop on Ravenna in their field and stadium and press box. I'd be anxious to see what that's like. I think Tom could be right. You could see West Branch, Glenville maybe at a place like Ravenna. That would make pretty good sense. All right, my spidey senses were correct. We have not heard from Ross. He's not checked in yet. Ross Benjamin from WagerTalk.com. So I'm going to assume that that's not going to happen. If it does, great, but I'm going to assume that is not going to happen today. I know Ross has been battling on and off some health things here lately. Hopefully he is doing okay and all right. If need be, we can maybe try to reschedule tomorrow, but I've got a feeling it's not going to happen today. But if it does, we'll get him right on here, and we'll get ready to roll here on the Sam Bourquin Show. All right, we talked about Ohio State and UCLA coming up Saturday night at 7:30. The Buckeyes are a huge favorite against the Bruins down in Columbus. Again, that's an NBC Peacock game on Saturday night. Let us hear from the head football coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, and that is Mr. Ryan Day. He met with the media down in Columbus as the Bucks prepare for the Bruins. Let's check in with Coach.
Welcome. Thank you for coming along early today. We'll go all the way to the center, very back there, for 11 winners.
Ryan, Nico, you played against him last year when he was at Tennessee. Are you able to take anything away from that, or is it a new evaluation when he's on a new team?
Well, we evaluate everything, but I can tell you that he's a tough player. He played tough in the playoff game here, and I'm watching him play the last few weeks, and man, he's physical. He runs hard. He takes some shots, and he keeps coming back. And he's a competitor, man. I got a lot of respect for him as a player. He throws, got a strong arm, and he's been doing a lot for his team. And you watch him on the field; he's a warrior. So we'll take all that into consideration, just and look at everything. But we know this is a great challenge for our team, and it starts with him.
Ryan, lots of things happening on the recruiting side of things. It seems like maybe there's been a change of philosophy as far as the size of this 26 class in the last month or so. Can you just speak to what really is motivating that now, with 25 commits and a handful of guys still out there? Like, how high do you see this going, and what is the driving force behind that?
Well, we're trying to make sure that we're in a good place, obviously, with our roster as we head into December. And then you have the portal, and with that, there's a lot of challenges. As you have retention, and then you have guys who are at other schools, and we want to make sure that we're continually recruiting high school players that we can develop. And there's a little bit based on how far we go this season and what happens, that will adjust sort of how we ended up getting to our number at the end of the year. But we want to make sure that we're flush at all areas, and that's at the high end, in terms of like the starters, the older guys, and then certainly with the young guys as we're developing them. So we want to make sure that the way that we're building the roster is the right way, and a lot of it has to do with the high school guys coming in. So we're trying to project it the best we can, but obviously it's floating around and it's moving targets.
Related to the one portal window, maybe like kind of requiring you to add more in high school ranks?
Yeah, I think that's the case because you can't be short. And I've said it before. Whoever plays past when the portal closes, late into the season, is going to really be at a disadvantage because there's no way to replace those guys once the 5-day window opens after the final game. So, we all have to make sure that, we're not short. That's our job. So we're going to make sure that, we're in good shape here and we're flush.
Right. First of all, any update on Josh? But then also, a lot of different guys got a chance to play at that guard spot between Gabe and Ethan, maybe who we haven't seen. And I know when you guys first got him, there was an idea of what he was projected to be, and that hasn't necessarily worked out here. Just an update on where his development is, and maybe is he an option along with Josh to be a guy at that right guard spot?
Yeah, he's an option. He played in the game. I thought he had some good movement in the run game and did some good things. So we'll see how this week goes, but we're going to keep pushing the envelope on it and keep grinding on it. But he did have some good snaps in that game, and hopefully we can get him to play at a certain level that we need him to play in order to, finish the season the way we want to. Josh, we're expecting a full week from Josh. We'll see how today goes. But he and Phil both, we'll kind of see as the week goes on, but we're expecting a full week of work out of those guys.
I think there was a notion that in June with recruiting, maybe things didn't pop quite the way people were hoping they would in terms of commitments. Now that is happening. Is there anything you feel like you guys have a better grasp on now than you did then that's allowing that to happen? Or is there anything strategic about not taking guys in the summer and kind of taking them now?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a philosophy. Not that, we're not trying to get good players, but I think a couple things come into play. One, there's going to be changes in college football year in and year out. That's the first thing, based on how guys play, based on coaching staffs, based on a lot of things. The second part of it is the evaluation of their senior year. So when you take those two things into consideration, the projection was that last spring we were going to be a lot different place in November and December than we were in June. And I think the biggest part is we had more information about the players, because with the amount of resources that we're investing in these young men nowadays, you better be right. That's the most important thing. In the past, you could bring in whoever you wanted. Maybe they were ranked high or whatever. If they didn't work out, they didn't play, or, maybe it took 3 or 4 years for them to get on the field, or maybe they tried another school. You can't have bad investments anymore. I mean, it's really important. This is critical decisions. And so we want to make sure that we're, turning over every stone and making sure we're right in our decisions. Not that it's 100%, but we got to do our part and do our due diligence to make sure that when we evaluate these guys, we have all the information that we possibly can to do what's right. So by the university.
Ron, what do you think has allowed Arvell to be as impactful this year in his first year as a starter? I mean, just to go from being a backup to somebody they're talking about as an all-American.
Right. Well, I think the first thing is that Arvell, you see this in guys when they get into the year 3, sometimes year 4, but where the program kind of kicks in. What I mean by that is like all the work that they've done up to that point, it all starts to come together. And I think you see that with a lot of our guys, but in particular with Arvell, he was a very productive player in high school. Coach Ginn did a great job of bringing him along and providing a mindset of what it means to be a Buckeye. And that's critical, what it means to play at Ohio State. And Arvell has that mindset. He had the minute he walked in the door. And I think Arvell never gets distracted with like noise. He just focuses on what matters. And that's a unique trait. We were talking about this the other day. Maybe there's talk about him with awards, or maybe there's talk about him in the draft. That doesn't affect Arvell. Arvell just focuses on what matters. And again, it starts with a mindset. But I think early in his career, he could have very easily, been discouraged because maybe he didn't play as much early on. We moved to D-line for a couple months, and all those things helped him. And then he sat and watched Cody, he watched Sonny, and now his athletic ability, his mindset, and now, the understanding of what goes on in that room and what James has done in terms of, just the football IQ in that room is allowing him to play at a high level. And I think all that combines to what you're seeing on the field.
His skill set to be on the end as a rusher, typically as an off-ball linebacker. Have you had players like that much before here? Just how does his skill set, the variety of it compare?
Right. I'm trying to think if there's been somebody I've been around that has that type of a skill set, as talented as Arvell. Probably not. I mean, and Sonny's right there too. both of those guys have that ability and that versatility. And I'd have to go back and think, but they're right there at the top.
Coach, you often talk about the outside noise and dealing with it. Obviously, the kids see the posts, they see the stuff. I mean, you've got numerous players being mentioned for huge honors. What do you say to them? Because it is exciting to have their names mentioned. And do you feel like the university should promote the guys at all for those awards?
Well, I think the number one goal is to win and for team goals of winning championships. And if the guys understand that, then I think it's great to promote that. I think if we started to feel like we have a bunch of guys that are self-promoters or that are playing the game to try to get statistics and get awards, then I don't think that we should focus on that. And we're not focused on that. But I think our guys understand that if you win as a team, then everybody's going to do well. And I think that's the case. I think you can see that with Jeremiah. You can see that with Julian. They both are pulling for each other. I think the way that our guys, lift up their teammates, that all matters. So if I started to feel like it was becoming an individual thing, then we'd probably put a stop to it. But I think this is a team who understands, how important it is to win as a team and not individually. And that's a message that we've been talking about for a long time, about being unselfish. And the best team in the country is going to win. And once selfishness starts to kick in, that's players and coaches included, that's when we get distracted. And, obviously it's my job to keep a close eye on that.
There is the head football coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Is OSU will get ready for UCLA Saturday night on the banks of the Olentangy. Kick off a little bit after 7:30 down in Columbus. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show on a 3-question Thursday edition right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below. You take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
1310 WDPN. It is the Sam Bourquin Show. Welcome back, everybody. We got about 4 minutes until we get you to the top of the hour news and weather with Jeff Mears from the 1310 WDPN newsroom. Coming up at the 5 o'clock hour, we'll jump back into the 3-question Thursday quiz. You can take that online right now if you wish. Number 1, college football national championship game. Who's in it? Who do you think is going to play in the title game? Question number 2, where is your go-to breakfast place in town? And question number 3, when do you think you'll put your Christmas tree up? That's our 3-question Thursday quiz. Keep those comments and answers coming in. We just heard from Ryan Day, head football coach at Ohio State Buckeyes and UCLA, coming up Saturday night, 7:30, down at the Shoe. On ESPN earlier today, Dan Orlovsky, they were doing like a little college football roundtable. 4 guys sitting around the table talking about, the top 25, the CFP, who's overrated, who's underrated. And somebody asked Orlovsky, who do you think was the most overrated team, the least tested team in college football so far this football season? And here is what he had to say.
The least tested number 1 team in the history of college football, they played nobody. Week 1, Texas. Ever since then, they haven't played anybody. I don't know if they played a team that's ranked right now since Texas. Everyone they have been trailing for 1 second in the second half this year. We have no idea who this Ohio State team, very good team, quarterback's a really good player. Jeremiah Smith's best player in college football. We have no idea who Ohio State is, like down 4 in the fourth quarter. Josh, no idea.
Josh Payton, all of these.
So what do you think there? Is that just a bunch of gobbledygook to get people talking? Or do you think Dan Orlovsky actually believes that? Do you believe that? Has that crept into your mind at all, that this team just hasn't been tested? Give me a couple minutes to ponder that. I mean, is he right? Is Ohio State the least tested team at the top of the college football rankings?
Well,
they did play Texas. Okay, that was a big ballyhooed game, and the Ohio State won. But okay, they beat Penn State. They beat a bad Wisconsin team. They beat Illinois. They beat Purdue. Their other non-conference games were, are they the least tested out of the top of the bunch?
I think Doug on YouTube might think so. He's got Indiana and Alabama in the playoffs this year, with Alabama winning.
Huh. I wonder. Gosh, now I'm going to start to worry that we haven't played the competition. Now we did. Now see here, I thought that Washington win was going to speak louder volumes, but it didn't really. They're just like an okay team, Washington. But is anybody a little worried about the Michigan game? Would you be worried about a first-round playoff game? Second-round playoff game? Maybe we can dive into that coming up here at the start of the 5 o'clock hour. With that being said, we're going to take a news and weather break. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show here on AM 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The government slowly reopening following the 6-week shutdown. Efforts to restore back pay and furloughed workers and critical SNAP benefits is underway. And it could take into next week before air travel returns to normal. That after the FAA restricted airspace due to the strain on air traffic controllers that continues. ABC's Trevor Ault is at LAX.
Now, the positive note is that this is coming together a few weeks before the travel rush for the holidays really gets going. And the airlines say they're not expecting any residual impacts from the shutdown. for Thanksgiving travelers.
Federal prosecutors announcing they've cracked a multi-million-dollar betting ring in New Jersey with links to the Lucchese crime family. Authorities allege the ring preyed on Gen Z gamblers, including college students and athletes. A spokesperson for Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman says he was hospitalized today after sustaining a fall near his home. The statement says he had ventricular fibrillation flare-up upon evaluation and is now recovering. This is ABC News.
Macy's has Black Friday deals you can shop now. That means you're getting early access to our top holiday deals on gifts for everyone on your list, including you. Like select sweaters for just $19.99. This season's hottest shoes and boots, 40 to 50% off. And festive sheet sets from $7.99 to $17.99. So come into Macy's, beat the rush, and get your holiday shopping done early. Black Friday early access starts here at Macy's. Savings off select styles. Exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. A 76-year-old Bolivar man who caused a crash that killed his passenger will not face charges. Prosecutors say the man suffered significant injuries in the May 22nd collision, making it impossible to prosecute. The decision reportedly was made with the support of the other driver and the family of 55-year-old Gay Rothacker of Bolivar, who died in the crash. Jackson Township police say the man ran a red light at Wales Avenue and Strasser Street, where his vehicle was hit on the passenger side. A 16-year-old girl driving the other car was also injured. Body camera video shows a Canton police officer shooting and killing a dog during a call early Monday. Officers responded to multiple 911 calls at a home in the 2900 block of 11th Street Northwest around 5:30 when two dogs ran out as an officer knocked on a side door. The officer says the canine growled and charged at him before he fired two shots. The dog's owners disagree, saying the animal wasn't aggressive. Police say the incident is under review and no disciplinary action has been taken. A caretaker is behind bars accused of stealing from a disabled man in her care. The Stark County Sheriff's Office says 41-year-old Katina Spells of Canton used the victim's debit card for personal purchases while working for Quality Comfort Living and Services. The alleged thefts happened at a Perry Township home between October 2024 and August of this year. Spells is charged in Massillon Municipal Court with theft from a person in a protected class and misuse of credit cards. She was arrested today. Plain Township's plan for a new 120-home development is on hold. The Zoning Commission halted a rezoning request for the proposed $11.5 million Ivy Reserves project after the developer failed to submit a required traffic impact study. The repository reports commission members said they couldn't move forward without it and voted to table the application Wednesday. More than 160 residents attended the meeting. Many opposed to rezoning the 59 acres around Ivy Street and Elmhurst Avenue from single-family to planned unit development. The issue could return to the agenda next month or January. Columbiana County Sheriff's deputies responded to a home in Kensington early Wednesday after a reported domestic incident that drew a heavy police response. The sheriff's office says deputies were called to a house on Route 30 just after 5 a.m. with assistance from the Highway Patrol. The incident remains under investigation. No charges have been filed. An East Liverpool man charged with rape will have a plea hearing December 1st. A status conference was held Wednesday in the case of 20-year-old Brett Thompson. He was to go on trial before Columbiana County Common Pleas Judge Scott Washam next Monday. Thompson is accused of forcing a woman into sex acts over a 2-day period in October 2023. He was secretly indicted in January and charged with 4 counts of rape. A former Youngstown man who pleaded guilty in a federal drug case has been sentenced to 40 years in prison. Prosecutors say 28-year-old Elliot Gentry admitted to distributing fentanyl that caused a 2022 overdose death in western Pennsylvania and to conspiring to traffic large quantities of fentanyl, fluorofentanyl, and cocaine. Gentry ran a multi-state drug operation using trap houses in Mercer County, staffed with dealers including juveniles and stocked with drugs and firearms. He continued criminal activity while incarcerated, including possessing contraband. A federal judge also sentenced Gentry to 5 years of supervised release. Youngstown police have arrested a suspect in a shooting that injured 3 women. Officers took 20-year-old Jabron Curry into custody Wednesday afternoon during a traffic stop. He's charged with 3 counts of felonious assault. Police say Curry opened fire into a crowd August 17th on Market Street near Florida Avenue. 3 women were wounded. Curry was secretly indicted by a Mahoning County grand jury last month. A Youngstown teacher who was investigated after funds went missing from East High School is now facing a theft charge. Science teacher Tracy Kane is scheduled for a plea and sentencing hearing December 8th in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court. The charge stems from allegedly taking school funds between 2017 and March of this year. Kane was placed on leave in 2023 after an investigation into money collected for the senior class trip to Florida, which was temporarily canceled. She was later allowed to return to teaching but barred from handling student funds. A man accused of punching and choking a man in a wheelchair at a patient care facility in Youngstown is scheduled to stand trial December 15th. 56-year-old Mark Berry of Camel pleaded not guilty Wednesday before Magistrate Timothy Welsh. U.S. Marshals arrested Berry October 1st on a warrant charging him with patient abuse. The alleged incident occurred during an argument at a Canfield Road site September 16th. The patient was taken to St. Elizabeth Health Center for evaluation. Berry is free on $15,000 bond. A Warren man has been indicted in a deadly hit-skip crash that happened October 4th in Niles. A Trumbull County grand jury charged 63-year-old Wayne Keeley with aggravated vehicular homicide, failure to stop after an accident, and vehicular manslaughter. Police say Keeley drove through a backyard on Indiana Avenue, hitting 67-year-old Brenda Hibbard, a retired Newton Falls teacher who later died from her injuries. Keeley was arrested 2 days later after his vehicle was found in a nearby plaza. He told police he fell asleep at the wheel and panicked after the crash. Keeley is scheduled to be arraigned November 19th. A Trumbull County grand jury has issued indictments in two unrelated cases. 56-year-old Farong Lee of Flushing, New York, now faces a superseding indictment after a February raid at a Hubbard spa. Prosecutors say Lee had more than $5,800 in cash, a MacBook, and 2 iPhones tied to a prostitution charge. She also faces a new count of possessing criminal tools. In a separate case, 23-year-old Narelle Frank of Warren has been indicted for felony child endangering after a child showed up at a hospital in September with a gunshot wound to the finger. Frank also faces misdemeanor animal cruelty charges in municipal court and is free on a $50,000 bond. Warren police are investigating after shots were fired during a shoplifting incident Sunday morning. Officers were called to a tobacco store on Elm Road after reports that 3 men fled from the scene, one firing a shot as they ran. No injuries were reported. Police recovered a shell casing and are reviewing video showing 2 suspects, one wearing a gray sweatsuit and camo mask, the other in black with a beard. No arrests have been made. Trial continues for an Ohio police officer charged with shooting a pregnant black mother killed after being accused of shoplifting in August 2023. Connor Grubb faces murder, involuntary manslaughter, and felonious assault charges in the death of 20-year-old Takia Young and her unborn daughter. Young was suspected of shoplifting when another officer ordered her out of her car. Police body cam footage showed she remained inside, then rolled it toward Grubb, who fired a single bullet through her windshield into her chest. A defense witness testified today that Grubb wouldn't have been able to evade the car once it started moving. Cleveland Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase has pleaded not guilty to charges that he took bribes to help gamblers win bets on the pitches he threw. The 27-year-old 3-time All-Star appeared in Brooklyn federal court today. Clase was arrested earlier at JFK Airport after returning to the country from his native Dominican Republic. Teammate and countryman Luis Ortiz pleaded not guilty Wednesday to similar charges. 2 have been on non-disciplinary paid leave since July, when Major League Baseball began investigating what it said was unusually high in-game betting activity when they pitched. Prosecutors say the 2 accepted thousands of dollars in bribes to help unnamed gamblers in the Dominican Republic win at least $460,000 on bets placed on their pitches. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 47,457, down 798 points. The Nasdaq Composite closed 536 points lower at 22,870, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,737, down 113 points. It's 46 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
48 degrees for your afternoon. A high today, a sunny sky all day long. Overnight, grab the coat. 29 for the low, clear and starry all night long. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Play through Allen. Allen hands off to Porter. Porter feeds ball. Lonzo, good pass inside. He got it to Allen. Allen puts it up and in. The shot doesn't go. Dance keeps it alive. Off it goes to Porter. Porter for three. Oh, my.
Drive and a miss. Pistons tap it outside to Ron Holland. To the basket against Herder, and he jams.
Tighten up. Shots that were falling for them aren't falling anymore. Curry for the lead. He got it. Steph's got 33. They've come from 16 down.
Oh, my. This would be chicken salad.
Chicken salad with some curry sauce.
1310 WDPN. Welcome to hour 3 of the Sam Bourquin Show. We are ready to roll here on this 3-question Thursday. Our text line is open for you at 330-924-7088. Thanks for spending some time with us today. We certainly do appreciate it. Love being with you Monday through Friday from 3 until 6. You can watch and listen to the program on 1310 WDPN Facebook page, our Twitter page, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Of course, good old AM 1310 WDPN, sounding crystal clear again today. Cavaliers will play the Toronto Raptors tonight at 7 at Rocket Arena. Cavs a winner over the Heat last night, the short-handed Cavaliers, 130-116. Good guys are back at it tonight. Want to thank our guest today, Mount Union head football coach Geoff Dartt, who joined us in the 3 o'clock hour. If you missed that interview with Coach, they will be up in podcast a little bit after the show today on all of our social media platforms, so be sure to check that out. If you missed the Sammy's Best Bet of the Night, we do that for you at 4:29 here on the show, Monday through Friday, where we pick one game. Hopefully we try to get you a winner. And tonight, if you missed it, we've got the Utah Jazz tonight, plus the 2.5 against the Atlanta Falcons in the NBA. That's Sammy's best bet for tonight. The Jazz plus the 2.5 against Atlanta. On this day in sports history, coming up here in about 23 minutes or so, we'll jump back into our 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, who do you think plays in the Division I college football championship game? Who plays in the championship game? Number 2, what's the best breakfast place in town? Where's your go-to for breakfast? Question number 3, when will you be putting up your Christmas tree? That's our 3-question Thursday quiz. Get those comments in on the 1310 WDPN Facebook page, X page, my Facebook pages. You can text it in 330-924-7088. Or if you are listening and watching the show on any of our live streams today, there's a little link there. It says Talk Here with Sam. You can click that. We'll get you right into the virtual studio, and we can have a little conversation here on this Thursday afternoon. Before we went to news, at the top of the hour, I played a soundbite from ESPN's Dan Orlovsky, and he was talking college football. And I'm going to have Rainsburg pull that up, and we're going to play that here again because, gosh darn it, during that 9-minute break I just had, I'm starting to think maybe there is something to what he said. Dan Orlovsky believes that the Ohio State football team is the least tested team. Now, yes, they are number 1. Yes, they have won all their games. They have answered the bell. They have taken down every comer on the schedule. Texas at home, Washington on the road. They've taken care of everybody in the Big Ten. They took care of their other non-conference games. But then you look at some of the teams that are, there at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You look at the latest poll, the CFP. And you look at those teams and you go look at some of their schedules and you look at their results. I can't help but think maybe there is a little something to what he said. And I know Ohio State is loaded with talent. They've got an outstanding defending national championship coach in Ryan Day. but I think there might be something to this. Rainsburg, go back and play that cut from ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
The least tested number one team in the history of college football. They played nobody. I mean, week one, Texas. Ever since then, they haven't played anybody. I don't know if they played a team that's ranked right now since Texas. Everyone talks. They have been trailing for 1 second in the second half this year. We have no idea who this Ohio State team, very good team, quarterback's a really good player. Jeremiah Smith's best player in college football. We have no idea who Ohio State is, like down 4 in the fourth quarter. Josh, no idea.
Josh Payton, you know all.
What do you think? Is there something to what he just said? Are the Buckeyes the least tested number one ranked team? And do you think if and when they do run up against a Georgia, an Alabama, a Texas Tech, maybe an Ole Miss, would there be some anxious moments with you? Now, I just ripped those teams' names off because they're in the top 5. But as you know now, the playoffs, the top 12 go, the top 4 get the bye, and they get back into action in the second round. But even a team like Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, does Notre Dame scare you? Texas, we already beat them once, but they're obviously getting better. Arch is getting better. Oklahoma's kind of found their way. I'm not a BYU believer anymore. I think Texas Tech kind of put that to bed. But do you think Ohio State has been tested? Have they been tested? And have they been tested enough to where it will have prepared them for a long playoff run and a run at a national championship? Kind of a yes or no question. Have they been tested? Week 1, 28-14, Ohio State over Texas. Then the Buckeyes were ranked 3rd. The Buckeyes were ranked 3rd. I'm sorry, it was 14-7. What the hell am I looking at? It was 14-7 Ohio State. The Buckeyes were ranked number 1. Texas was ranked number 10. Okay, the following week, 70-0 over Grambling. Following week, they beat OU 37-9. And we all kind of thought, well, what have you? Okay. So then Ohio State goes out to Washington. And they play the Huskies in Seattle. It was kind of a lunch pail sort of deal, and they won 24-6. Okay. They come back home and they beat Minnesota 42-3. Then they beat Illinois 34-16. Then they beat Wisconsin 34-0. So against Illinois and Wisconsin, the defense really kind of flexed there for the Buckeyes a little bit. Then they beat Penn State 38-14. This is not your grandfather's Nittany Lion team any longer. They beat Purdue 34-10. Well, Ohio State loves scoring 34. 34 against Purdue, 34 against Wisconsin, 34 against Illinois. But their defense, they give up 7 to Texas. They shut Grambling out. They give up 9 to OU. 6 to Washington, 3 to Minnesota. Illinois scored 16. That's the most anybody scored on them all year. That was October the 11th in Champaign. They shut out Wisconsin. They only give up 14 to Penn State. They give up 10 to Purdue. Folks, I don't know if this team's been tested. You're not going to get tested Saturday night. UCLA comes to town. They're a 32-point underdog. The following week, they're at home against Rutgers. You're not getting tested against them either. And then you go to the Big House on November the 29th at noon to take on Michigan. Right now, the Wolverines are ranked number 18 in the country. So even the most stringent, ardent Buckeye fan might have to say, you know what? On competition alone, this team really hasn't been tested yet. Like, they haven't had to fight and scrape for anything in the second half of a game, the fourth quarter of a game. These games have been wrapped up early. I mean, the Wisconsin game, it took them a little while to get going, and they got going. Texas, it took them a little while to get going. But, I mean, who's the last ranked team they played? Yikes. Texas. Grambling unranked. Ohio unranked. Washington unranked. Minnesota unranked. Illinois, Wisconsin, Penn State, all unranked. Purdue unranked. UCLA unranked. Rutgers unranked. I mean, I'm not trying to talk myself into a panic mode here, but, man, I don't know. Those numbers don't speak very loudly.
No, maybe manage expectations a little bit. Just a little bit.
I mean,
yeah, he's got a point, though. I'm not going to lie.
When I first heard that, I'm like, Orlovsky, shut up. And I went back and listened to it again. And then I went back and looked at the Buckeyes' schedule, their point differential, where the games were played, who was ranked when, and where we played them. And I don't know, he might he might have something there.
Ryan Brayler on YouTube says, yes, they did play a very weak schedule this season, no doubt, but I think the fact that they have 9 dudes on that defense and that, in his opinion, it's the best college defense in terms of pure talent he's seen.
Yeah, the defense is locked up. I love the Ohio State defense. And I really like Julian Sand. I mean, he's a Heisman hopeful. Our wide receivers, hello. Our running backs, hello. I really like Bo Jackson. Kid's a stud. I guess I just want to, I don't know. I guess I just need to watch more of Ohio State. And thank God they play at 7:30. I can actually watch them. You got to remember, I'm tied up on Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. until about 5. So I don't get to watch any noon or 3:30 games. So I'll get to watch the Bucs Saturday night against UCLA. We'll see how they do. And then Rutgers the following week. I know Greg Schiano's, he's still probably the best guy for that job at Rutgers, but they're not doing anything this year. And I'm anxious to see how Michigan performs here the next couple of games. I'm telling you right now, man, that is going to be a game. It is going to be a game up in Ann Arbor. And I know it always is. Some years it shouldn't be. But the weight of the losing streak to that team is starting to feel a little heavier to me the closer we get to that game. Anybody else feel that way? Or am I way out in left field here? Like 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, I didn't have a worry in the world about Michigan. And now, the closer we get, the worry meter is going up a little bit for me. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I'm starting to feel that way. I'm not thinking negatively. I'm wondering. I'm wondering a little bit. That's all. All right. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll get you right into the bottom of the hour with our a very short edition of On This Day in Sports History. And then at 5:35, our guys all set. Head football coach of the Fairless Falcons, AJ Sarbaugh, is going to join us. We're going to talk high school football playoffs, postseason, and get his thoughts on some other things around the high school football game here. That'll be coming up at around 5:35 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Quick break. We'll come back. Stay with us on 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
This Friday night at Lake County Perry, the Pirates will host the West Branch Warriors in Division IV Region 13 high school football here on AM 1310 WDPN. I'm Sam Bourquin. Join me and my partner Caleb Norick on Friday night at 7 as the number 4 seed West Branch Warriors at 10-1 take on the number 1 seed, the 9-2 Lake County Perry Pirates. The pregame begins at 6:30. We'll kick it off at 7. It's a big one on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming at Q92radiosports.com. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Boy, sometimes I wish you could hear our conversations off the air. Maybe someday you will be able to hear that, but not yet. All right, on this day in sports history, this is a quick one today. Holy smokes. On this day in 1900, the Baltimore Orioles entered Major League Baseball's American League. On this day in 1991, Roger Clemens won his 3rd Cy Young Award for the American League. On this day in 1993, the days when the Dallas Mavericks were poo-poo. Mavericks began a 20-game losing streak on this day back in 1993. And on this day in 1995, I just can't say I'm really happy about this. Greg Maddux of the Atlanta Braves became the first pitcher to win 4 consecutive Cy Young Awards. Of course, he led the Braves over the Indians in the 1995 World Series when the umpires were giving the Atlanta pitchers a 10-by-10 strike zone when the Tribe was at bat. And, well, we couldn't adjust. All right, news and weather coming up on the other side. AJ Sarbaugh will join us to talk a little high school playoff football. It's all next on 1310. Perfect.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. The Department of Homeland Security says it will pay out $10,000 bonuses to airport security agents who never took a day off during the 43-day government shutdown. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy reports.
The Homeland Security Secretary says the bonus checks will go to those TSA agents who she says stepped up, reporting to work each day through the shutdown, took on extra shifts at airport checkpoints. President Trump has suggested similar $10,000 bonuses might be paid to air traffic controllers who never called out. They work for the FAA, which is overseen by the Transportation Secretary.
The House is moving toward a vote on releasing files from the sex trafficking investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Republican leaders have no choice but to allow a vote after a petition on the Epstein bill reached the needed 218 signatures. It comes at a time when new documents have raised questions about Epstein and his associates, including a 2019 email mentioning President Trump. The White House accuses Democrats of leaking emails to smear the president. The bill would force the Justice Department to release all Epstein-related files with some redactions. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he plans to bring the measure to a vote next week. California's governor is pre-deploying emergency resources in the state as heavy rain is moving in. ABC's Alex Stone is there.
It's a statewide storm that could go on through the weekend, beginning today in Northern California and beginning on Friday in Southern California. But the biggest worry is the burn scars where wildfires burned in January. Those are areas that are very prone to mudslides. Governor Gavin Newsom is pre-deploying teams to those Southern California burn zones, including 3 urban search and rescue teams, 18 fire engines, swiftwater rescue teams, helicopters, and dispatchers, a total of almost 300 people to be ready in case there is flooding or mudslides. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Israel's army says militants in Gaza have handed over a body believed to be a hostage since the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas began last month. The remains of 24 hostages have been returned to Israel. The latest body turned over today is confirmed by Israel to be a hostage. Another 3 remain in Gaza. Israel has been releasing 15 Palestinian bodies for the remains of each dead hostage as part of the agreement. The Gaza Health Ministry says the total number of remains received so far is 315. It's 45 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Well, we get the sun to shine. Not going to warm you up too much. 48 degrees for the high today. Overnight, clear, starry, and blustery. A low near 29. I am RJ Weather from 3 News.
Yeah, Spider-Man and freezing full effect. You ready, Ron? I'm ready. You ready, Jill? I'm ready, Slick. Are you? Oh yeah, take it down. Girl, I must.
AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Getting ready to chat with AJ Sarbaugh, head football coach of the Fairless Falcons. We're going to break down some high school playoff football. Sam, this is a great question. Sam, who had a tougher time with unranked Penn State? The Buckeyes or the Hoosiers? Yeah, definitely Indiana. They had to pull that game out of there. You know what? Got that last second touchdown, that miraculous catch in the back of the end zone. So yeah. But there's the thing. They were tested. And they found a way to win, and they've been in a situation where it was tight. You know, they were on the road, 105,000 people. And I know this is not the Penn State but still, they were in that position. They were so much. Some of the text messages I get during the day are incredible. We all set for AJ? Good to go. Let's do it. Let's talk a little high school football playoff action. AJ Sarbaugh, the head football coach at the Fairless High School. Coach Sarbaugh, how you doing this afternoon, my friend?
I'm good, Sam. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you and talking a little ball. I know you wish you were playing. When it gets darker a little bit earlier, you start thinking about the possibility of practicing maybe on a Thanksgiving morning. And I know all coaches and kids love to do that, but you're going to get there. You guys you've been in that playoff pool before, and I know you're going to get back there. What have you made of the playoffs so far this year, AJ? This is round 3. Of course, they tried it this year for the first time with a bye. For the top seeds. What's your take on the postseason so far?
I think the postseason's been really competitive. You look across the state, I think the scores have been really good. I knew I was coming on today, so I was curious. So I looked. There's 112 teams left across the state.
Yep.
And 27 of those teams did not have a bye. So there were teams that lost that didn't have a bye. And talking to high school coaches, I think it's going to be interesting going forward how people handle the bye, because this was the first time it's happened. So I think everybody had a different approach to it. And I think most coaches would tell you it was uncomfortable because you don't have this in high school. It's not like college where they have a couple byes throughout the year. So I think most high schools enjoyed getting healthy, but also figuring out how to handle it for the first time.
I agree. I've had conversations with other people in the media. I've had conversations with other coaches. like Coach Cooper at West Branch, you're not a big fan of the bye at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you going to do? That them's the rules, as they say. How will this be a trial thing? Do you think, AJ? Will this be a situation where the OHSAA circles back after a year, after 2, after 3 years, and they kind of maybe refigure some things out, or is this going to be here for a while?
I don't know. I think that's a good question. I think when you look at it, they did 16 for 4 years, 21, 22, 23, and 24, because COVID was the first year they let everybody in. So I think what you're seeing with Doug Ute is that anything's on the table. I mean, this year, the regional semis this week are at home sites. I don't think as many people want to host anymore. And even looking at basketball last year, where we were fortunate enough to have state semi games at the field house, and now everything's going back to Dayton. So I do think with the OHSAA you have now, they're trying to do what's best for kids. So I think they're probably going to evaluate this after the year and then see where we go.
I wonder, looking at, I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. I am a proponent of 8 teams per region getting in. I think that was perfect. And I get the whole COVID thing, but that's in the rearview mirror now. And I think the coffers have been replenished enough down south that we could maybe take a look at let's do the 8. Now, I know there are some coaches, and you may be one that says, hey, 12 is good. If it was 8, we wouldn't have got in. We wouldn't have had that experience. We wouldn't have got, everything that comes with the home game and playing a home game or playing a road game. It didn't matter. You're in the postseason. Where do you sit there? 8, 12? Does it matter to you?
I go back and forth so much, Sam. I really don't know the answer. I think 8 with 5 playoff games for asking high school kids is perfect. And you get 1 home game, right? But then, if you look at it, when it was 12, you've got 3 double-digit seeds that are left this week. So you have had some teams that have won. And when you look at it at 16, there were a lot of blowouts, but there were so many schools. Like, I read an article this summer about a school that had never made the playoffs, and they got a send-off, and they made T-shirts, and their coach was like, this was great for our school and our community. And at the same time, isn't that what high school is about? And if you look at it with 16, that's the equivalent of making the district semis in basketball. But at the same time, football is special, and when you only get 8, it felt like it was a bigger deal. So I go back and forth. I'm a traditionalist. I liked 8. I think 12 has been good. But I think that's a question. What are they trying to accomplish? Get more teams to be in the playoffs and say that they got to participate and you get an extra week or 2 of practice? Or are we looking for the best tournament possible, which is probably 8?
Yeah, I think that was just said perfectly. I saw a post. I don't know if you follow Martin RPI on X. Yeah. This was a couple of days ago. It said 112 teams are still playing football in the regional semifinals next week. This was from 5 days ago. Only 5 of them are higher than an 8 seed, and that is 4% of the whole playoff pool. And that would tell me that maybe 8 would be the way to go. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I would agree with that. And I think it would be interesting, like I said, to go back at the past 4 years and compare it without the bye. So how much did that bye week help those teams? Is that number of 5 equivalent to the past 4 years? Because I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and this is an anomaly, but Springfield was the 11 seed and got to the state final against St. Ed's. Now, how often is that going to happen? But it did. So,
yeah, and that was the year they'd take Moeller out again. I think they took Moeller out 2 or 3 years in a row to get to this championship game, which is that's crazy too. AJ Sarbaugh is our guest, head coach of the Fairless Falcons. We're talking a little high school football here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM1310 WDPN. Appreciate AJ joining us here on this Thursday. All right, area teams, man. We only got 4 left. We got McKinley, we got Massillon, we got West Branch, and we have East Canton. Just a little nugget or 2 on each team and how you think they will fare this weekend. Let's start with the Pups as they travel up the Menor.
obviously Mentor's been really good. Coach Gray's done a really good job there, but I'd have to say the way McKinley's played defense all year under Renzi, that they're going to have a chance. And I think the other thing that benefits McKinley, and this is going way back, but just like Coach McDaniels and the Pups playing Ignatius so many times, at some point you're going to break through. So McKinley has played at Mentor. They've played them over the years, so I don't think there's that awe factor or how they play. Tough challenge, but the way McKinley's playing defensively, I think they're going to be in any ball game regardless of who they play. You saw that in the Massillon game.
I would agree. I think their defense has been really, really good. Massillon will go down to DeSales to play Columbus St. Francis DeSales. Of course, RJ Day, the starting quarterback for the Stallions, a tradition-rich high school football program. They'll be playing at home, but I got to tell you, I think Massillon has found another gear, and I don't know if this game will be close. Any thoughts on that one?
I would have to agree. I mean, after seeing what Massillon did to North and Hoover, and I think DeSales is a very good football team, but Massillon, Avon, Hoban, Walsh Jesuit, those schools in D2 are just on another level. And I think Massillon's turning it up because this is what they play for all year. That state title run.
West Branch will be in action. They got to go all the way up to Lake County to take on, again, another very good high school football program with Lake County Perry. They won the state title, I believe, a couple of years ago. Coach Bob Greshwich has done a tremendous job there. But here's another team, AJ, the Warriors. They play some defense. They got some playmakers. I give them a good shot on Friday night. How about you?
Yeah, we played Perry back in 2022 at Fairless, went up there. And then, like you said, they won the state title in 2023. I think you've got two really good coaches there with Gesselwich and Cooper, two programs. I think I read the other day, this is the 5th year in a row West Branch has been in the regional semis.
Yeah.
So both programs know how to win, and I would expect that to be a one-score game. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's high scoring or low scoring, just because I think you've got two really good football programs there.
Yeah, I'm heading up there tomorrow. I'm actually going to be doing my show up there beginning at 3, and then we'll have the game at 7. I have never been there before, but I understand it's a pretty cool, unique setting up there at Lake County Perry. What was it like when you went up there?
So it's a really nice campus. The baseball, softball field, everything's right there. But the home stands for Perry are actually attached to the school building. So it's really neat. Divided. It's a really cool setting. The only thing is I felt like the stands were really far away. So there's not much of an atmosphere on the field. But when you look at it, it's a really cool setting for sure.
All right. I'm glad I know that going in, because I'm the guy that likes the press box right on top of the field. Yeah. And when I start seeing 8-lane tracks and miles and miles of pasture between the press box and the field, my anger meter goes up a little bit. East Canton and Mogador. What a story for East Canton this year. Spider, I mean, I want to go back to the high school football preview at St. Harmlebus Church and listen to him talk. And, he only had so many players, and he talked about the schedule, but he thought if they played hard, they could maybe do some things. And my gosh, here they are in round 3. What a story the Hornets have been.
Yeah, I'm so happy for Spider. You're not going to find a better human being than him. Just an awesome person, great football coach, someone I look up to, have a lot of respect for, a good friend. And obviously winning their first 2 playoff games, going on the road last week. And now they get to go to Mogador, which I think Mogador is really good, it sounds like, as they always are. Talking to Spider, they're going to be smash mouth football. So if East Canton can stop the run and handle what Mogador does offensively, I think they're going to have a chance to move the ball and score some points. It's going to.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a close game, and I think Mogador's they got tradition there too. That town, that village of Mogador, they love their football, and that's a little bit of a Well, I guess I'll call it a hornet's nest. Maybe that'll help East Canton a little bit, but that's a tough place to go in and play. And we're wishing Coach Spider all the best. AJ Sarbaugh, head football coach of the Fairless Falcons, our guest here on the Sam Bourquin Show, chopping it up here on 1310 WDPN. Have you ever taken a couple of minutes, maybe even just by yourself, and thought what it would be like for the Fairless Falcons to go play in a state championship game at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium? And if you do get those thoughts, what kind of goes through your mind, and how does it make you feel?
On 77 South, and I've thought of countless times, especially state championship weekend when you're at the game or the games over the weekend, and just thinking how you're 20 minutes away and a county that supports football, how awesome it would be to get there. And I think the place would be packed and our town would be rocking, and it would just, I get goosebumps just thinking about it, because I go back to when McKinley played at Fawcett in 04, or Massam against X in 05, or Central playing Van Wert on a Saturday morning in 2000. Obviously, I think those were the glory days of high school football, or McKinley or Hoover and McKinley playing in 01 at Fawcett when it sold out. You know, I just think Stark County would come out and Fairless would show out, and it would just be an unbelievable atmosphere and experience.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you would get any sleep the night before. I mean, that would be, you know what? I can't imagine what it would be like for the Fairless community, for other teams in your conference, for Stark County, for Northeast Ohio that would just, rally around the little engine that could. And oh my God, I think that would be so awesome. And I know that carrot is out there for you, and we're hoping someday that you guys are able to get there. AJ, I really appreciate your time coming on. Folks probably would like to know, since the football season's been over, what do coaches do? Is it the honey-do list? Is it a little bit of relaxation? Do you catch up with the playoffs? What goes on?
I've gone to a playoff game the last 2 weeks. I try to go support guys that I'm friends with, spend more time with my kids. I get to pick them up from school. But I think, like Sam, it never ends. We did equipment turn-in day. You get ready for your own banquet. We ship our helmets out. You do laundry. You do inventory. You're getting ready for kids going to college. We had Stark County voting last week for WHBC. So you get that stuff ready. And then you have college night at Central in December. We've got district meeting on Sunday. So are you game planning and practicing every day? No. But before you know it, your 30 days are up and you're back in the weight room. And so you try to catch your breath, but you're never really not working if you're doing the job right.
Yep. And it all starts all over again. Coach Sarbaugh, love talking football with you. Appreciate your time. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch up, all right?
Thanks, Sam.
There he goes. AJ Sarbaugh, head football coach of the Fairless Falcons, here on the Sam Bourquin Show. I apologize. Are we ever going to get our phones fixed? I'm just asking for a friend. I mean, are we really ever going to get those done? Apologize for the choppy audio there. AJ was giving us some great answers. Unfortunately, we couldn't pick up on all of those. All right, we're going to take a break. It's 5:50 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. We'll come back. 1310 WDPN.
The Canton Palace Theater is kicking the season off in style with the legendary Kilgan Organ. Their 2025 holiday kickoff runs 2 days on Friday, November 14th at 2 p.m. and Saturday, November 15th at 7:30 p.m. with an entire lineup of festive entertainment, a short silent film with accompaniment by Jay Spencer at the Kilgan Organ, vocalist Lisa Knight performing Judy Garland songs, Shirley's School of Dance performing a chorus line, and general admission seating is $15. Groups of 10 or more, $12. Tickets are available through the Canton Palace Theater box office or online. Don't wait. Secure your seats now at cantonpalacetheater.org or by calling 330-454-8172.
This Saturday afternoon at 1:30 from Kara Stadium on the campus of the University of Mount Union, the Mount Union Purple Raiders will welcome in the Muskies of Muskingum. Hi, I'm Sam Bourquin. Join me and my partner Ryan Bevere on Saturday afternoon as the Purple Raiders look to complete the perfect regular season at 10-0 as they welcome in Muskingum. The pregame begins at 1:20. We'll have the kickoff at 1:30 from Kara Stadium at Mount Union. The Purple Raiders in Muskingum. All the action here on AM1310 WDPN and Q92RadioSports.com.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
I used to rule the world. Seas would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep.
Thanks to Coach AJ Sarbaugh for joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show. If you missed that, it'll be posted after the show on all of our social media platforms. I got a note here from Dan Eric. Dan was one of the best to ever do it. Used to work for the station out in Worcester, WQKT, for many years. And, of course, he worked out at the station in Canton, too. And we've been able to, talk to one another time to time. And he dropped me a note. He says, Sammy, at the time Ohio State played Washington, the Huskies were ranked. Also, when the Bucks played Illinois, the Illini were ranked. Not sure what Orlowski is looking at. Probably SEC bias. Yep. The Michigan game will be a dogfight. Offensive line for Ohio State is a little bit of a concern. Perfectly put. Dan, I hope you are doing well and enjoying retirement. Offensive line to me is a little bit of a bugaboo. And that worries me against a team like Michigan. Physical, tough, hard-nosed. And the fact that, somehow they have gotten over on us. How many years in a row has it been? Has it been 4? Please tell me it hasn't been 5. I know, Tom, if you're listening out in Salem, and I know this is a sore spot with a lot of Buckeye fans. It is a sore spot with me. But have we lost 4 in a row to them, or have we lost 5? At any rate, that needs to come to an end this year. And we're going to have to do it up in Ann Arbor. And they'll be waiting on us. They'll be waiting up there. Cheaters. They'll be waiting on the Buckeyes. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Sam Bourquin Show tomorrow, 3 o'clock, live from Lake County, Perry, as we get ready for the big high school football playoff game tomorrow night between West Branch and Lake County, Perry. Showtime at 3, pregame at 6:45. We'll kick it off at 7 right here on 1310 WDPN. And, of course, we'll be streaming on Q92RadioSports.com. 3-question Thursday quiz if you want to pop in here real quick and get us some answers or throw some comments our way. Question number 1, who will play in the Division I college football championship game? Who you got? Question number 2, where's your go-to breakfast place in town? And question number 3, when do you think you'll put the old Christmas tree up? Drop your comments on social media and let us know. We'll read them as they come in. Pat says, I got Ohio State, Texas A&M in the Natty. The Nut House for breakfast. I've heard good things about that place. That's on, I believe that's on Navarre Road, or is it Perry? Or maybe it's at the corner. But I've heard a lot of good things about the Nut House. I have to check that out. I'm gonna go there before the end of the year. I promise. I'm gonna go there before the end of the year. Lisa says, who else is there? But I know our Buckeyes will be. Her favorite breakfast spot is Jack and Bernie's in Columbus. When will Lisa put up the Christmas tree? Well, she says, not too long after Ohio State-Michigan game, if I'm sober enough.
There's a lot of factors in there.
There is.
If Ohio State wins, and
a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah, that could go a lot of different ways.
Thomas checks in. Ohio State versus Texas A&M for his national championship game. Bob Evans, his go-to breakfast spot. He says, Sammy, our Christmas tree is already up. All right. Who else is getting in here now? Samuel says the Buckeyes against Texas A&M. His favorite breakfast spot is the B&K Cafe.
I remember that.
That's a good spot.
That is. Is that in Perry?
Yepper.
Yes.
It sure is.
My dad loved that place.
Yep. Mine did too. Weekend after Thanksgiving, the tree will go up. John up in Barberton says he's got Ohio State and Texas A&M. Pete's is his go-to for breakfast, and his tree will go up after Thanksgiving. Let's see here. Mike says... he says, Sam, the top two teams will play in the college football championship game. No kidding.
Whoa, Mike is psychic.
Wow, a lot of research went into that.
Holy crap.
George says, Sammy, it's going to be the Buckeyes and the Crimson Tide. His go-to breakfast spot, Wally Waffle. Rest in peace, Wally Waffle. I don't think there's any around. The last one I knew of was up at Highland Square, West Market, up in Fair. I don't think it's there anymore. But, it was good. There's some interesting times at Wally Waffle. I was up there when I was working up there. One more here. Robin says it's going to be Ohio State and Alabama. Michael Dees for his breakfast spot. He says his Christmas tree is going to go up on December the 20th. Appreciate all of you getting involved today here on the 3-Question Thursday quiz. It is time to go. Thanks to Rainsburg. Great job as always. Thanks to my guest today, Geoff Dartt for the University of Mount Union, and Fairless head football coach AJ Sarbaugh. We will come back together again tomorrow at 3, live from Lake County here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Until then, go Browns, go Bucks, go Guards, go Cavs. Don't forget Sammy's best bet tonight, Utah Jazz plus 2.5 against the Atlanta Hawks. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.